Hello, welcome. It's True Resurrection Day. And as often happens on True Resurrection Day, our first order of business is inventory management. So we're going to just be talking a bit about builds and stuff as we run around and manage inventory. Now, I'm not planning on being melee this next life. So this means that we're going to be tossing a lot of weapons into the shared bank to go onto mules. And then we'll figure out some other stuff. And of course, another step of this process is actually turning in our favor rewards so that we get more bank and bag space to hold stuff so we don't have to do as much inventory management. And of course, we're also going to go through and see what we can see about just getting rid of a lot of the stuff that we picked up as we have leveled up through this life on our Dark Hunter. Now, overall, I think Dark Hunter went okay. It's definitely on the weaker end, but that is a sacrifice it makes for essentially just scaling really well later. It's not as good leveling, which is fine. There we go. So now we can expand things and see what we can see. I'd like to check my account. Thank you. So we're gonna try to optimize this just a little bit so we're not constantly jumping back and forth to mules, which means we're gonna have to pull some stuff out of the bank as well as when we put stuff in the bank. So once the bank eventually loads, we'll have this. Alright, so 2 upgrades on bank size. You can see we've only got 2 slots available here because we shoved a bunch of extra stuff in. So let's see. So we're going to grab... Wait, a Hexbreaker. Don't I have another one? Buckler of the Fallen Age. That's not great. Wait, Legendary? Legendary conditioning is on the heroic gear? That's a bit odd. But that might actually make it worth keeping. So, first of all, let's just drop a bunch of stuff from our inventory here. Because we've got named stuff. We've got named stuff that isn't any good. So, as is our purview here, we're going to get rid of it. So, Dynabone. Alright, time to feed our weapon. So what do we have? Barovian Scimitar. Goes away. Chimera's Fang. Goes away. Ild's Edge. I think I'm keeping that one. Actually, you know what? Because I already have one, and because this is caster stats, we're not going to keep a duplicate. So does this one have any specials on it? Nope. Goes away. Envenomed Blade. It's mythic, but these things drop like candy. I know I have them. It goes away. This is Mythic 2. I know I already have these on mules, so that goes away. This one we don't have extras of. Macabre Shortbow has Reaper on it, so it gets crunched for a different kind of shard. Dagger of the Fallen Age also has Reaper on it, so that also goes somewhere else. Level 1 Resonation, obviously we can just... Oh, sorry, this is Malleable. This is the level 12 one. We'll need to double check on that one. Midnight Greetings, we've got 2 of them. We're going to eat this one, lock this one, and pass it over, because this is the one that I slotted a Ruby of Acid into. So that goes in the bank. Nicked ones are going to go in here as well, but we're going to need to grab some stuff out of here in the meantime to make space for transferring things. So for next life and all, let's see, we're not going to need that, probably. What is this? Level 13 monk stuff, not necessarily useful. What is Faith and Fortress? False life? Okay. You can see that I know all the stuff I have in my bank, obviously. Why would anyone just not know every sort of thing that they have in their bank? That would just be silly. And let's see. We'll just grab out the sentient jewels because they're going to be easy to know to put back in. Alright. I need to dump a bunch of this legendary stuff onto my endgame mules. This is it's just taking up a bunch of space here. In any case, Nicked goes away for saving. We're going to have to look into whether or not we want to keep that or not. Queen Scepter goes away. We're going to be using it next life probably, so. Twisted Willow, I know I already have one because I've used them before, so that goes away. Full Course Edge, we're keeping that. And let's see, what do we have? Enigma Core. I don't know if I have one of those or not, so we're going to have to check that one. Rakshasa's Hide, drops like candy, we know we've got them. Mislaid Investments, I'm pretty sure I pulled these out to use? No. You know, honestly, it doesn't matter. I could probably vendor almost all of my Ravenloft gear and not miss it. I basically never use it. Hexbreaker, I'm pretty sure I've got plenty of those around. And even if I don't, bucklers are not a... I might swash. I don't know if I have Wildwood. That's Wall Watch light armor? No, that's Wall Watch clothing. I don't know if I have that or not. Let's check. I need to bring up my spreadsheet, which has all of my gear in it. Or at least, alright, it doesn't have all of the gear in it, but it has most of the gear in it. Okay. Show me what? Show me Hexbreaker. Yep, I have one. So this one goes away. Show me Enigma Core. I do not have one. Okay. I apparently don't have a Dreadcurse Defender. However, Dreadcurse Defender is level 10. And, oh, this is pets only. It actually might be worth keeping. We'll look into it. But I don't have an Enigma Core. How about Wildwood? Wildwood outfit. Yep, got one. Which means this one can go away because it has nothing special on it. And that does it for those. These are all locked, all locked, all locked. Okay, very good. We'll just drop these in here. Yeah, we'll drop that in there, drop that in there. All very good. This one can go away, because that's melee only. And then we have these bracers at level 12. Honestly, level 12 I'm not swapping that much, and bracers are a highly contested slot, so I'm just going to ditch them. I don't know if I have a set of them or not, but I don't care. I know I have a set of those, so those go away. Death's Locket, I know I have one. That goes away. Diablo String. I was wearing that, so we're going to lock it and keep it. Valorant's Folly. Level 8, Soulsight Potency. It's just not worth keeping. Or at least not worth keeping this one, because I'm pretty sure that I already have one. Golden Guile, again, I have multiples, so that can go away. And what is this? Prepat of Constitution. Alright, that one gets saved since I don't have one yet. Ring of Mythic Intelligence. 2 Insightful at level 13, so that's probably good. This is useless. And alright, that does it for stuff we can feed to this. So we've got progress, which is nice. And anything else here that we're going to be ditching onto mules? Artifact Crate, that's a leftover quest item, so we get rid of that. And what else do we have? So while we're going through this, one thing that we can do is we can discuss some stuff about builds. So I think I'm going back to kind of comfort next life with running a Warlock. However, And this is because I talked about it earlier today in the DDO Discord. Someone was asking about a Warlock, and it seemed that the prevailing opinion was that Cursori Storm is actually better for leveling than Great Old One at this point. Which was interesting to me, because I thought there was too much that was cold resistant or immune for it to be good, but apparently that's not really an issue. And of course they get better single target DPS because they have certain spells that help with that. So I haven't run... Hello Aviator, greetings. So I haven't run Cursori Storm, so I think I'm going to be giving that a try next live. Have a +1 heart? I think I've got a +5 floating around from when they did one of the resets, but I don't think I'm just sitting on a +1. Why do you ask? Is there a particular build? You love Chaosmancer, Acolyte, Warlock. Interesting. I am still doing racials though, so I think I'm going to be the same race this time, because I think that the next life is going to be my 3rd shifter life, so I will get another point for it. So that is a strong argument for doing that. Oh, let's do strip fire immunity. Aha, yes. That would be advantageous. So let's see. So what else goes into the bank? Well, alright. We know that this is stuff that's going to go on to... Yeah. So this is stuff that's just going to go back to weapon holding mules, so that one goes in. And this one will stay with me for the moment. This one I think is bound to character. Yeah. So that can just get tossed in there. And these two have Reaper on them, so they get Reaper Shard crunched. Oh wait, how did I miss that? Those need to get fed. This goes here. A garbage can lid. Mythic 2. I've got these. I don't need another one. Regalia. I've got it. Needs to go away. Buckler of the Fallen Age will probably keep, because having a Buckler and having legendary conditioning in Heroics, which seems weird, but you know, you do you. Yeah, we don't care about this. That can go away. And then these two I will keep because I don't have them. Alright, so we're down to... So what are we looking at? We've got 85 here and 116 here. We'll round it to 115. 85 and 115 is exactly 200. So if we come over here, we have 240 things to pick up. Which means, if we do the math, we need like 45 extra slots to get shoved into here. Which is totally doable. And we're going to start with all of these low-level weapons going back onto the low-level weapon holder. So yeah, so we're going to probably be trying Cursori Storm Warlock next life. And we'll probably figure things out from there. I don't know exactly... let's see, this one. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing after that, since I haven't planned that far ahead. It'll probably be back to doing a couple iconics, which means we might be doing our Assassin Dagger Shadarkai life, because I've already done Shadarkai chains with like a cross-class hand axe build, because those are super popular. And by super popular, I mean they give big numbers because they get a huge crit profile. Okay, so we are grabbing... Well, let's just double check that we don't have a bunch of duplicates when we do this. Show me weapons only, which isn't going to cut this down much. Alright, so we want... this is going on a different person. Yeah, that's Sharn, so that goes there. So Nicked. Yep, that's a second Nicked short sword. And a Nicked scimitar. And then we have... Oh, we have 2 Flicker of the Crescent Moons. Okay, yeah, that's good. Cool Nobility. Oh, that's also on a different one. How about Midnight Greetings? How many of those do I have? None. Okay, cool. So we're going to grab that one. Midnight Greetings comes in here. Garrow's Malice comes here. Eld's Edge is here. Duelist's Epee is here. What else? This is for other physical stuff. How's Wave of Despair? That's a level 15. That's not on this mule. They can just publish the latest builder. Oh, okay. Ah, so you're all ready to do the your Dragon Disciple then. Excellent. See, Fanged Necklace. You know, we're going to say Fanged Necklace can go here. Just need to enter it in here somewhere. Necklace. Necklace 6. Neck. Got it. Fang Necklace comes out. Oh, I don't have enough space. Fang Necklace goes into the bank here. And then anything else here that goes onto our physical damage only person for like low level stuff. Hexbreaker? Do you have a Hexbreaker? Slot. Shield. No, okay. Ah, it's on a different character. Okay. Yeah, so this Hexbreaker can just be destroyed. Okay. Hexbreaker can be destroyed. There we go. And okay, we're going to hop over to a couple other characters to empty out the shared bank, because I don't want to be jumping back and forth too much. Actually monk now, and you use the 0 heart to switch to... Oh, interesting. I hadn't considered that as a way to quickly get lives on a new archetype. That you could level as non-archetype and swap with a 0 heart. That's actually pretty neat. Alright, did I click logout and it's just being slow, or what's going on here? I didn't move or anything to cancel it. Okay. Alright, so who are we going to go to? We'll go to Sharn BL to grab like the level 15 gear. Thank you. How much space do I have? 12 slots. Okay. So let's just double check that we don't have an Enigma core. We do not. Alright, Enigma core. There it is. Enigma core. It is a docent. 15 armor. Esoteric initiate. Yes? Yes. Got it. Flicker of the Crescent Moon. Flicker of the Crescent Moon. Cruel Nobility. Not that set. Show me level 14 to 16. No, 14 to 21. Okay. What do we have? We have Lenses of the Dark Depths. Yes, that should go here. Why do I have 2 sets of Acolyte's lenses? Because one has Mythic and one doesn't. Those go away. Alright, Dark Depths. Alright, come up here. That is 17. Alright, grabbing those. And it's actually interesting looking through here, seeing what other stuff we have. Like, wait, what is this? When would I ever use this? Insightful Spell Pen and 1 quality spell focus? I'm never needing to push my spell DCs that hard in Heroics. And it doesn't have a set bonus either. Cursed Skull. Cursed Necromancer? Okay, sure, why not? I don't know what it's from. Stygian Wrath. Do I have one of these? I don't. Neat. This is Sharn, I think. Yeah, it's nearly finished. It's Sharn. Okay. So the problem with this is that for several lives now, I haven't actually cleared this out. I've just cleared out like a little bit, just enough to TR, so I've got a lot of stuff floating around that I should have tossed in here forever ago. So we can discuss that as we go through this. And we can discuss how I probably should be doing this differently. Alright, we're going to grab this. Wild Frost definitely comes with me. Do we have a Wave of Despair? We do not. Do we care? Maybe? Alright, Conduit of the Soul. Conduit of the Arcane, Conduit of the Soul. Do I already have one? Is this the one I pulled out? No, okay. So this just goes back in. Cape of Balance is 17. Interesting. Freedom of Movement. Earthen Mantle. Again, I'm never... maybe on a Force Caster? Probably not. Cloak is a highly contested slot. We will toss in Cloak of Balance, though. Which is a cape. Which is level 17. No, not 178. 17. Back. There we go. Cape of Balance. In. Alright, and that's all... wait, Moonguard. Moonguard. Wasn't Moonguard the one of the RP servers in WoW? Or maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Alright, so we got that, which is good. That's all for this particular mule. And we log out again. But yes, as you can see, we have a lot to chew through, but it's not really that difficult. Particularly because this is going to get faster as we go, because once we have more space, like more flexibility in our shared bank, then we can stick more stuff in it at once to move more stuff all at once. Okay, alright. Oh, is it working? Okay, we're making progress. Alright, we're gonna go back to the main since we hopped onto 2 mules, so we can take fewer trips back and forth and just stick stuff in. So for next life, we do need to do... we're going to go back to Warlock, which means we don't need any of our melee stuff. But we're also going to ditch a bunch of the, like, random tomes and stuff that we picked up as well. So, let's see if we have any spare tomes floating in here. Yeah, like, that needs to get crunched. We don't want to spend an inventory slot on that. Excuse me. Alright, that goes in. This comes out once it decides to behave. Now this is bound to character though, right? Yeah, okay. So we just need to crunch that one. Show me weapons. Well, we don't have any weapons named Tome. Okay, that's fine. But anything in here, that's bound to character, so we can't drop it. Anything in here that we can stick somewhere else? Why do we have a Shadow Star on us? Like, we shouldn't have that. Lemanian Hunting Dagger. What is this? Okay, we need that to go away. Most of this other stuff is obviously, like, these are all raid weapons, and those are bound to character, so we're just stuck with those. So, while we're looking at them, though, we might as well move them. So, just gonna do this number here. And we're just going to grab these and toss them into the bank. Because we've already got them pulled up, we might as well. They're going to have to go in eventually, so why not now? None of these are going to be relevant for next life, or for multiple lives for that matter, because, well, we're still on racial. So all these epic and legendary items are not useful when we will not be high enough level to use them. Now, one convenient thing about Corsari Storm, and I know I'm hopping back and forth between topics, is that because it is cold and force, by default, it means that the ring you have in Feywild covers both, which is very convenient in low levels. But it does mean that as we get a little bit higher up, I don't know what exactly we're going to use. No, that's a malleable scepter. We're going to keep that over there for now. Get that sword, and then we get more of these legendaries. We have a Barovian scepter, which really we should be able to just ditch, but I'm going to keep it on me for convenience, so I don't have to run through the pre-quest to just grab another one immediately, as I've had to the last couple lives. Alright, Epic Storm goes in. And yeah, alright, so we're going to be good with that. We will get our scrolls out. Oh, show me scroll. Yeah. So these are high-level scrolls. High-level scrolls for scribing are generally good to stick onto a mule somewhere. So we're going to put those in to stick those on our scroll mule. Show us scrolls. Alright. Only like the high-level stuff, though. High-level or rare scrolls. Alright, we ditch our healing scrolls, because we won't need them anymore this life. And we ditch our raised deads, because again, just buy those for plat. And we have more than enough plat. And I think we'll go for our rolled stuff as well in this round of sticking stuff onto other characters. So we're going to put all of this stuff. These are like new. I don't know when they introduced these, but I don't remember them being a thing before. VIP crafting whatevers. And what else we have in here? Alright. Show me any other like random level 1 stuff that probably needs to go away. Let's see. We're going to put this on our... That's going to move away. That's going to move away. Orb of the Jinn. Why am I carrying that? Like, I know that it saved me a run through Chain of Flames if I carry it from life to life, but I don't actually care that much about avoiding that quest. That's not really a big priority to me. So it's not worth the slot. Oh, more consumables. And... Alright, another one of those. Just going to shove all of that off onto a different mule. Excellent, very good. Anything else that we want? Let's see, we've got 6 slots left. What are we shoving stuff onto? Alright, we've got tomes, we've got rolled consumables, we've got... Oh, you know what? We can toss some of these things. Actually, let's just ditch the hundreds. You're not worth the time it takes for me to bother with tossing it back and forth. 200s are also gone. It's like, that's some easy space to clear. Just going to toss these over here as well. Alright. We're now up to 195 slots clear and 209 here. So, we're making progress. And we're going to toss most of this stuff over other places. So, backing out again. Yes, I'm pretty sure Dragon Disciple drops tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure on that, though, so. You. All right, scrolls. All right. Let's see. What else do we have on this character? Cosmetics. So you also get that. I think we have our hair styles too. Yes. Yes, hairstyles. And what else you got? Okay, we also have more scrolls. So we will have you grab tools out of the bank, tools out of the bank. So you can get Frozen Spear and Will of the Banshee scrolls in. And more. Do we have any more cosmetics in here? We have Mirrors of Glamoring. That counts as cosmetic. There we go. Any more cosmetics to pull out of this bank? No, none there. None there. And none here either. Okay, good. We're done with this character pulling stuff out of the bank. So we're gonna hop on over to a different one. And then we will, I think we'll have 2 more stops to make before we can actually get underway and reset to level 1. I think that this is my second Shifter Life. February 26th, to speak to their to add the class type. Excellent. Thank you for the confirmation, Adavad. Although I will say, when I first started reading your sentence, I immediately thought it was a bot. Just because it has that promotional phrasing to it. I was just like, oh, it's a bot. It's trying to sell me followers again. It's like, here we go. Where's the block button? Yep. No, I appreciate it. It's just that because it had that tone, that was my initial reaction to seeing it. Let's see, where are we? We're going up here to this one. I'm probably lucky. Look, they can't blame us for making logging lag. Logging lags all on its own. I was about to say it's not as bad as it used to be, but I'm not actually sure on that. I think it's probably about the same. Because I know it used to be bad, but it's still bad sometimes as well. Now. So. Alright. Now we have various tomes. I should just pick, like, character number 2 and saying, like, this is second vein, and toss all these tomes at them and be like, congratulations, you are now character number 2, have some tomes. So, how much space do we have? We have 3 empty slots. That's not great. Alright, but you get Big B hands, you get... Are the mnemonics in here? Concert elixir of greater mnemonic. There we go. Those go in there. Supreme ability elixirs. Alright. Charisma tome. And this is also where our cakes go. Okay. More cakes. Oh. Are the cakes in here? Ah. This is the other thing. I really should Do that. Okay, very good. Elixir Mnemonic Enhancement. Creator Slayer boosts. Remnant boosts. Tome. Remnant boost. Slayer boost. Tome. Tome? Tome. Alright. What other various consumables and tomes do we have in our bank to toss onto the mule? Probably have an alt soon to use tomes on since it's almost full completionist. Ah, yeah. Spellslinger Bard is pretty solid. They get a lot of stuff for basically free. Like, they just get freedom of movement in their song, they get all the temp health, they get the passive healing. They get sprint boost. Sprint boost is always appreciated. And let's see. What is this? 31. What is that? That's... Because when I'm going through here, I'm also kind of looking for what else to pull out and where to put it. So, like, that's Legendary Salt Marsh. Like, that's not something I know a lot about. Like, where am I going to put Legendary Salt Marsh gear? Like, I don't have a lot of that. But, like, we've got this stuff, which is 33. Yeah, so I need to pull all my Myth Draenor stuff out somewhere as well. But let's take... Oh, that's a Reaper Mutilator of Minds. Okay, and Coalesced Coinage. So I think the next person we're going to go to is going to be for our low-level gear. So we're going to hop back onto the main briefly. Yes, songs are generally always welcome in groups. Although given the, we'll say, the population and the size of the population, almost everything is always wanted in groups. Like, I don't remember the last time anyone got turned away from a leveling group. It's like, oh, I don't want to level with that class. It's like, who does that? Like, it really does not matter when leveling. Unless you are trying to do something unusual with your leveling path, usually you can solo it, and other people are there to make it go faster, smoother, and safer. And if you're trying to do something that you can't solo, so you want to group up for it, usually you would want people that you know, not like try to do gear score checks on people, because that's just not really how DDO rolls. It's just not really a thing. Alright, so we are looking for low-level gear that we will not be using next life, that we can toss onto a holder. So, what do we have? We have... not for leveling. Oh, yeah, true. Like, you can grab a level 20 and basically just buff people in legendary stuff. Alright, Ring of Falls... Alright. Falls Decay goes in here. We won't be using that one. We're just going to say level 2 to 10, actually, is what this holder has. Alright, Crown of Snow. We'll be wearing that. Celestial Beacon. We might be wearing that. Amber Pendant. Probably, yes. Likely. Also, actually, probably likely. Spark Souls is level 3. We don't care, but we're not going to bounce it around any. Flightfoot. Yes, we will probably keep that. Admiral's Wristwatch. No, that goes away. Don't need that. Go to the blue Abishai. We're going to say no. Don't need that. Robe of Duality. Maybe. Hardened Hide Helm. I don't know why I still have this in my bank. I wore it a lot when I was really worried about, like, Insightful Fort, and it has, like, the stuff crafted on it, but it's been, we'll say, power crept. That's a nice shield. Don't need it. Soft Souls. Don't need them. Wind Riders, possibly. Barovian hand wraps are bound to character. 5 rings. Don't need them. And let's see, Bottled Sunlight. Maybe. I'm undecided on the necklace thing. However, since we're here, and we're looking at the raid stuff, we can pull the raid stuff out and we can toss it into our non-TR bank. So that we can look at it later. Because it's bound to character, I'm not going to spend any cycles trying to think about whether I'm going to use it next life or not, because I'm not going to be putting it on a mule anyway, because I can't. It's bound to character. Yes, I'll be wearing those. Yes, I'll be wearing that. I will probably wear that, and I will likely wear one of those as well. Okay, good. So that's the list of low-level stuff from that. Any other low-level stuff I'm holding that needs to go away? Shadow Star. Yeah, I don't know why I have a Shadow Star on me. We're going to toss that in the bank just in case we want to keep it. Buckler of the Fallen Age. I need to figure out what I'm going to do, which mule is going to hold my Myth Draenor stuff, because I'm going to start getting gear, and I need to figure out where to keep it. And, in fact, I'm going to need to figure out which to keep. Winter Court necklace. Actually, we might wear that too. The neck is a heavily contested piece in the Feywild set. There's just a lot of good stuff you can have in the neck slot. Alright, so this is not quite full yet, so we can look at another class of stuff to ditch. So show me high-level gear. Show me 28 and up gear. And we'll see if I can toss any of this onto mules. Alright, Legendary Profane Experiment. That's one that can go. Oh, wait. Here, you go over there. Okay, Legendary Profane Experiment. That can go. Legendary Cloak of Winter. Legendary Lionheart. As I scroll through all the stuff that's bound. Actually, this is not bound. Right, so that goes. What else can I toss to other characters? What is this? Is this even crafted? No, but it's a Reaper Enhanced Blank. So, Reaper Enhanced Blank is something I will hold on to. But, as we did with some other stuff, we are going to use this opportunity, while we're looking at all this bound to character stuff, to toss the bound to character stuff in this other bank. You too, if you play DDO for a long time, can experience the wonders of inventory management. Do you want to start raiding? Excellent. Do you want loot? Excellent. The loot will be bound to character and will be permanently messing around in your inventory and stashes. Now, obviously, I could handle this way better by actually going through a lot of my older gear. Like, I've got a lot of old named items on mules that I could really just do a straight-up comparison. It's like, okay, compare this item to, like, Feywild item, and be, is there any build ever that I would want this item over the Feywild item? And the answer is most of the time going to be no. The Feywild item is going to win. Another thing that I could do is I do have a habit of hoarding minor artifacts. Even though I know odds of me using most of these minor artifacts are pretty slim. Like, am I really going to be using, like, one of these? Especially with the newer minor artifacts, like when I could use a Dread ring for a Dread set, when I could get, well, in theory, if they ever dropped, because at this point it's doubtful that some of these things even exist with how Myth Draenor drops work. Like one of the Myth Draenor artifacts, or any of the new ones that have more slots on them than the old ones. Like, some of these old Saltmarsh ones, it's just incredibly unlikely that I will use them. Now, On the other hand, there are things like that are part of certain Feywild sets that I do use sometimes, especially if I don't have a fully optimized build. Having something like Prince's Gauntlet to double up on sets is very handy. Oh, they increased the drop rate on the Myth Draenor rings? Well, that's nice. Oh, yeah, I've got 2 of the bound rings, I think. And those are nice. Like, I've got a couple different charisma things, and those are nice. Right, so these go in here. Just not sure exactly how many slots I have. Alright. Exactly 100. I've got 50 left. 154. Technically, I could TR right now. I have enough space in these 3 places to pull everything out of this. But that's how we got in trouble in the first place. If we want more flexibility going forward, we will actually clear more of this before we start and put ourselves in a good position for the future. Now, are we going to do all of that on stream? No. I'm probably only going to do, because now that I have noticed that we do have enough slots, I'm probably only going to do 1 more trip to Mules, and I'll handle the rest some other time. When is that other time? I don't know. But it will be some other time, not on stream. And we can move on to talking about how we plan to build this Warlock. Rick? Oh, sorry. I went too fast. Yeah. The power creep with the number of slots is huge. That is a lot of bank tunes. I have trouble dealing with my number of mules, and it's like 8? It's mostly like 4. Because I have enough space in my stash and inventory that a lot of stuff that I use most lives just never goes onto mules. So we're going to grab more of this. We might have to hop over to a different thing in order to actually get some gear for Next Life, but I don't think that's going to be a major issue for us. But for now, we're not going to mess around with any new mules or anything. But what we are going to do is we're going to drop all this low-level gear off on other places. So, actually, do we have random, like, level 7 gear floating here? No, not like random stuff. Stuff I would actually use. Okay, good. So we're going to go over here to our low-level bank tune and see how much space it has. Hopefully it has enough. $10 and under level gear. That's how I know who has what. 10 and under level gear has 10 and under leveling gear. How much space you have? 6 here and 40 here. Ah, I pulled a lot of stuff out of your inventory, eh? Alright. Level 1 to 10. Dread Curse Defender. Oh, I do already have one. It just wasn't marked in my spreadsheet. Well, it's an upgrade, because the new one has Mythic on it. Shadow Star. It wouldn't surprise me if this isn't here, because certain things exist on different characters, and ranged weapons and low-level weapons are things that I have separate mules for. So the fact that Shadow Star isn't here does not surprise me. Alright, we're just gonna... I know that these go here, and these go here, and that goes here, and this, and that, yes. That one is definitely here as well. Green Pine is not, because Dread stuff is all grouped somewhere else. Precision Lenses are gonna go here. Oh, alright, fine. It goes in the bank, not the backpack. That's fine. Mutilator of Minds goes here, as does Coalesced Coinage. gonna just make a note here that that's where that is, because the downside of tossing something in, excuse me, is that if you do it wrong, and suddenly it's like, wait, where did I put that? Which is why I have the spreadsheet. Green Pine, Robe of Fire. This probably goes on a different character. Ring of the Red Abishai would go here. And let's see. Blade of the Winter Solstice definitely goes here. Band of Insightful Commands does not. Mantle of Fury does. Spring Storms does. Summer's Heat does. Wait. I might wear you for the Radiance next life, so we'll keep you out. Acidic Sphere does come here. Perfect Pinnacle probably goes here. And I think that does it for the low-level stuff. Wait, what's Bloody Cleaver? No, that's not here. Alright, Clearwater, that'll go here. What else is... Yeah, 5 Rings goes here. Alright, excellent. So we have one more stop to make before we TR, which is the character who does range stuff, because that character also holds the XP gems. Now, normally I wouldn't have a lot of inventory space eating up XP gems, but when I'm doing Iconic Lives, I'm not spending them. So we're going to go over here to LF Healer, who also holds the ranged weapons. And we're going to see if we've got that many, because I know I burned a bunch last life. Yes, I know I haven't claimed Macrotechnic on my various, like, just inventory characters. It's fine. Well, the answer is apparently I still have a bunch. Apparently I still have a lot. And I do have a Shadow Star already. Okay. Fair enough. Shadow Star goes away. Because you can't dual wield shurikens. Okay, so let's go... Show me... Alright, how much space do I have here? I've got enough space for a decent number of these. So, we're going to grab some 2000s and 3000s. Because those are the ones that take up more space. Alright, we'll accidentally grab a 4 there, that's fine. Now I could pull more of these out, but I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, also the other things that we can do here is... Yeah, I'll have him grab this, because I count that as a ranged thing. I'll also have him take... No, that's just normal stuff. There was another thing in here that I wanted to pull out onto him. Esoteric Initiate? No, that's not it. Deep Snow... Dusk Lenses? No. It was the other one. It's in here somewhere. I swear. Or I'm just seeing things. Ah, there it is, Wall Watch. He also holds the ranged stuff, so Wall Watch set goes with him. Alright. That should do it, and it is time to empty the bank and TR. When people say falchions are good, you don't get it. What's not to get? It's about crit profile. Particularly if you are going to be like paladin and elf. Elves have something in their racial tree that lets you use falchions as a favored weapon. So that's something that has going for it. There's also a couple really good raid falchions you can get. I believe Tale of Sulamades is a falchion. And there might be one other one. But yeah, it's about the crit profile. I don't know what else there is to it, though. There might be something else to it that I'm not aware of, since I personally have not done a Falchion build. Is there something that you did and tried that you found was just not behaving properly for you? Or like you compared it to something and, oh, you see, I had the wrong screen open and I missed the Love the Dog redeem. Let me take care of that for you. I'm going to disrupt your scene. Trying doing druid build with it. Aha. Oh, the raid falchion from Myth Drannor is automatically favored. Interesting. I haven't looked into that much. All right. So the time has come to empty the cache. Let's see, we have more than 100 slots here, we have 30 slots here, and we've got like 20 extra slots there because we actually did more than the bare minimum when we emptied our cache. So we have space. And now we're just sitting here clicking for a while. But yes, there is we are planning on doing Carceri Storm Warlock, because while I've done a lot of Warlocks, I have not done the Cold one. So we'll give that a shot. And there's a bunch of other builds I haven't done. Are Druids proficient with Falchion? I think Falchions require martial proficiency. Are the builds that you're doing cross-class? Because I know that there are druid builds that cross-class with barbarian, and barbarians are definitely proficient. So I don't know if pure druid is, but I know that a lot of druid builds will have either fighter or barbarian levels in them. Because barbarian works well with druid because they both get rage, and their rage stuff kind of stacks. Or, I won't say stacks necessarily, but stuff that affects one rage affects the other. So if you take, like, your rage lasts longer, or your rage no longer makes you fatigued, or anything like that, then it applies to either rage. Or so things like that are effective. But I would need to double check if it actually gives you proficiency or not. And I don't think druids get proficiency from any of their enhancement trees. They do get proficiency with certain armors, but not with weapons, I don't think. Yeah, it's tricky. I guess it depends on when you have a good falchion to equip. Because... Now, let's see. I think Barbarian gets it at... Let me just double check something before I tell you something that's incorrect. Wiki. Okay, yeah. So one benefit to taking Barbarian early is that the level in Barbarian gives you 10% move speed just for having a level in Barbarian. I couldn't remember if you got it level 1 or level 2 Barbarian, but according to the wiki, it's level 1. So whenever you choose to take that one level in Barbarian, boom, instant 10% move speed. Which is why Barbarian is a popular one splash for builds that would never for builds that are basically 18 something, 1 something else, and then like a second of that doesn't really get him anything, a 19th of the other doesn't really get him anything. But so it's like, well, this one level doesn't really matter that much. Guess I'll just get my move speed. It's true, if you put 2 levels in, you could get Blood Feast, but if we're looking at an 18-1-1 build, one favored soul is going to be for trance, and then the Barbarian is going to be for proficiencies and move speed. So I don't think you want to lose the 18 Druid to get a second in Barb. Probably. I guess it depends on the build. As I've said, I'm not super familiar with it, so I could be wrong. I could, in fact, be extremely wrong. But, yeah, that is my impression of the build from the very short description I've been given. Off we go. Wait, is it Blood Feast or Blood Tribute? I'm assuming you're talking about the temporary health active, which is extremely good. Yes, I know I'm going too fast. Deal with it. Yeah, blood something, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I just want to be clear on these things. There's a lot of blood this, holy that, whatever, once you get into a lot of the naming conventions of stuff. Oh hey, more bound to character items. Alright, we're getting close to the end. We only have 9 items left. Blood Tribute. There we go. Excellent. All right. Oh, it's doing this thing again. So I don't know if you've had this when logging in and out a lot, but it messed with my mouse sensitivity. Like, this much mouse movement would normally spin me like 360. Like, I'm moving at like, I'm turning at like half speed of normal, which happens sometimes if I log in and log out enough times in a row. It's quite annoying. So let's see. Let's just double check, which I should have double checked this way earlier. Show me. Oh good. I do have enough tokens up to 12. And we are actually going to make another little pit stop, because we do have a couple items that have Reaper bonuses on them. We're going to crunch them into shards, just free up a couple extra slots. We're also going to take this down to our 3rd lower deck. If it wants to actually load for me. That would have been unfortunate if not enough tokens. Yeah, it would have. But fortunately, I didn't put any of the gear that I was currently wearing into the bank, so I could just run through like Lords of Dust or something a couple times. But Scrimstrong build, you want to add some salt on the top of it? I'm not sure what you mean What kind of salt are you referring to? Let's see. I think it was on weapons. So we had Dagger of the Fallen Age with Reaper on it. Oh, right. No, this is tomes. Tomes, not Reaper points. Okay, yes. There we go. One more slot. To modify it? Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to... Like, if you want the build to do something slightly different, go for it. Other people's builds are, like, really good place to start, especially if you're new. And I still look at other builds a decent amount. And they're also good for learning a lot of, like, basic stuff, like how basic things go together. And once you kind of know how things go together, then you can really start looking at, like, all right, well, I want to make these other things go together. Why am I here? I'm here to crunch Reaper things, so I need to not jump down. The Reaper people are up top. Hi. Wait, no, not that. That. Okay, Dagger of the Fallen Age with Reaper on it. Thank you. Nemanian Hunting Dagger? No? Macabre Shortbow? Yes. Macabre Shortbow? Okay, we'll try this again. How about now? Good. Any other Reaper stuff in here that I failed to notice? This one, but I might actually use that one, so we're not going to crunch it. How about over here? Buckward the Fallen Age? Nah, that's right, I was keeping that around just in case. I don't know why I have an extra set of these. Despite all my clearing out, I am still confounded by random things in my inventory. Like, what is this? Why do I have this? Okay, well, suffice to say, we now have 4 slots in our inventory open. And we can now go grab our heart from the 12. Yeah, so would that be a wolf barbarian or a bear, or not wolf barbarian, wolf druid or bear druid? I'm not too familiar with melee druid builds. Like, I've done one, but there's a bunch of different ways to do them, so I don't really know them. I'm not super familiar with them. From what I understand, of course, bear has better AoE, but wolf attacks fast. Show me heart. Heart of blood. Excellent. And now we can head back to the Hall of Heroes. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Heroes... Hall of Justice, I think it was. Either way. I'm sure Solomon Grundy is thinking up some plan to get back at those dastardly heroes who keep thwarting his plans. Although, he would be in the villain's base in the swamp, but that is neither here nor there. Everyone's got to have a base somewhere. And for some people, it's a shining thing in a city, and for others, they live in the swamp. That's just how different people live their lives. Okay. Yes, we are going to do racial reincarnation. We will get our heart. Heroic Heart of Blood. Next. Alright, yep, this is Shifter 2, so we will get Shifter 3 next life. Alright, and we are off to the races. At long last, it only took us A little over an hour to do inventory management. But it will take us less time next time because we spent the extra time this time to actually clear out more stuff instead of just doing the bare minimum. And, you know, we got to talk about it and find some interesting old items and talk about other stuff. Alright, Warlock. Actually, we haven't done an Acolyte of the Skin either, but I'm really feeling trying the Carceri Storm. Shifter, 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 shifter. Alright. We want Charisma. We want some Constitution. We want a little bit of Strength. We want a little bit of Int, so we are not terrible with skills. And we want a little bit more Strength, so we don't, like, get helpless as much. Yes, I think that's good. I've done Warlock enough times that I have a builder. It's right here. So it is neither using a builder nor winging it. It is redoing something I have done before. And that does mean that I am kind of winging it in that I might forget something. But I'm not too worried about it. Let's see, we're going to put 1 point in Perform, 1 point in Tumble. And yeah, that'll do. We'll grab Concentration and stuff later. Okay. We want Maximize. We want... let's see. Wild Hunt? Yeah, Wild Hunt. I don't know if we'll be raging at all this life, but we can do that. And we want Carceri Storm. Charisma, most of the mentioned. Yeah, we're going Blaster. Like, I'm not doing anything funky this time like I did with the when I did like an Enlightened Spirit Imbue build, which is a little bit different. You actually have to think about other stuff. Alright, what are we getting as our first level spell? We'll grab Shield. Oh, we can be true neutral on this. Excellent. Ooh. Alright, good enough. And back to level 1 we go. I did not quite get a look at that hair. That is some hair right there. Alright. UI, layout, load.
You find yourself waking on a shore of flotsam.
There we go.
Memories of a large white dragon striking your ship come flooding back.
Hey, our tomes work. Always a good thing to check when you reincarnated, that everything actually started out again. Skip Korthos. Yes. Sure, give me a repeater. I definitely need a repeater.
Stepping out of the grotto, you find yourself in Korthos
Okay.
village. The Sahuagin
Where's my
have
horse?
threatened this place for generations. Judging
Horse.
from how it looks now, the Sahuagin are winning. However, some hopeful souls still hold out for help to arrive.
Alright. And off we go. To the guild ship. And to the bank. Where we can try to find the stuff we need. Now then, we shall return to Korthos and or keep on the Borderlands. Or we'll just lag. Oh, wait, we're back. I should really turn these off. It's like, yes, I am aware of what mouse look mode is. I'm just slightly thrown off it a bit because you messed with my mouse sensitivity. Because I relogged too many times. Alright. Buffs. And then into the cargo hold. Okay. So even before we start grabbing stuff out of the bank, let's go for our epic past lives. We want either colors or fast healing. We want energy criticals. We'll put fast healing here just in case. We'll grab fortification. We'll put skill mastery here just in case we're like just shy of being able to jump over something. And then grace. All right. And here. All right, then we need to pick an iconic. Let's see, we've got double strike. We have repair spell power, acid spell power, light and alignment spell power, I think is the best we're going to get. Like, I don't think any of these others are going to help us any. Like, Shade Archive's got an interesting thing to it, but yeah, I think that's all we're going to do there. So that's all of that. Then we're going to turn our pact on. Gonna go Utter Dark downstream? Maybe? It's just that the others aren't any good anyway, and even if I don't go Utter Dark, which I may or may not, it still helps with things like Stricken and Consume. Let me check my account. Yeah, I mean, I've used it before when I was using Utter Dark. The thing is that I only have one stack of it, so it's only 10, but it's better than nothing. Alright, let's go here. We'll just put this on for now. We're going to get rid of this, and we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to start by grabbing stuff that is going to stay in our inventory permanently. Which is bags. We want our bags. We want our Harper pin. We want our Gibber's blade. We know we're going to have those every single time, so we're going to grab those. Next, we're going to look at gear up to level 5. Alright, Dead Ringers. Yes. Nocturne Ring. Maybe. True Seeing is convenient. Diablo String. Maybe. Demonic Shield is convenient. Flame Ring. Yes, we're going to put it on right now because Universal Spell Power. Also Reaper Ring Enchantment. 10 Universal Spell Power. Super good at low levels. Random Throwing Weapon. That gets to go there and that gets to stay there. That is our level 2. I want to hit that lever over there weapon that we just carry every single life. Cold Iron Bracers? Probably not. Leaf Mail, yes. Cloak of Attraction goes on right now. Crown of Snow, yes, we're going to be putting that on at level 5. Amber Pendant, maybe. As I said earlier, the pendant or the necklace slot is highly contested. There's a lot of good stuff you can do with it. Windswept Buckler, maybe. Transmutation Talisman, maybe. Hardy Boots, those go on right now, I think. Slot, boots. Boots, boots, boots. I might have better now. Yes, okay, so these can just go away entirely. Mythic 3 or Reaper 5. These are just a strict upgrade. I will never use these again. And as for level 5 boots, we're probably going to go with Wind Riders because they have dodge and speed and stuff. So that goes there. We'll go by slot as well. Alright, weapons. We will grab Queen Scepter, because we're going to swap to it at 5. Shields. You know what? We might just toss this on right now. Wait, is it... Spell Failure 5. It might be good enough to wear anyway. Armor. Robe of Duality. Red Robes of Eternity. Red Robes. These go away. Eyes. Extra experience. Everyone loves extra experience. And that's not on the item. We have a Master's Gift slotted in them. Alright. Death Ward Clicky. We always carry a Death Ward Clicky. Bulwark Helm, which I got lucky enough to have a Reaper bonus on. So 2 to all stats. Very nice. These we're not going to use this life, so they should have probably gone on to other things. We will grab Bottled Sunlight and Winter Court, because I don't know which we're using, and we're going to grab this, because we're going to put it on as soon as we eat some XP gems and level up. Next is Trinket. We can go Vibrant Purple just for level 2, but we're not going to be spending any spell points anyway, so there's really no point. Voice of the Master, maybe. I have had it come in clutch with just the skill bonus of like getting me just over a threshold so I could search a hidden door. So I like having it around. Alright. We will grab Cloak of Winter for level 5. We will grab Mantle of Gentle Descent for Featherfall gear swap. And Cloak of Spring I shouldn't have, but is still here anyway. Belt of the Ram, we don't care. We will grab the Dire Bear belt. That is going to be our belt of choice for this life. And rings. Show me level 1 to 5 stuff. Do I not have the Force and Cold ring? Like, is it on a mule, or do I not have it at all? Or did I already pull it out? I might have to go hunting for it. But I don't think we're going to hit level 5 tonight, so we're not going to bother with that right now. For now, we will look at grabbing an Acrobat's ring, just for a little bit of jump if we need it. And a stone ring for level 1, because it's got Mythic on it. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Hands, Dusk Palm, a little bit of dodge and Mythic. Gloves of Tranquility. Ours are better, I believe. And then feet. We already looked at feet. There's a lot of looking at feet on the internet, and we are no exception. We will grab our green dragon scale. And we will grab Spearbane. Spearbane, very good at low levels. And Quiver of Alacrity. You might have noticed that our weapon slot is empty. And our weapon slot is empty because we're going to grab a Borderlands weapon, as is tradition. So, let's see, what do we have? We have all this stuff. Actually, show me level 6 to 8 gear. I'm going to grab like 3 more things out. Blue Raptor Feather. That. And that. So we've got those all ready. And then we go back to level 1 and 2 stuff to pull out other non-gear stuff that we might want. Let's see. Nothing we care about yet. Nothing we care about yet. We won't use the 15. It's just going to sit there using up 1 inventory slot as opposed to like the 2000s that would take 7 inventory slots for that much. We're not going to grab our... you know what? We'll just grab our completed sigil. I'm fine carrying it. And... anything else here? We don't need Thieves' Tools because we already took care of that. Alright, so we're going to go up here. And we're going to pull out our XP gems. And we're going to use a bunch of those. And we're going to get to level 2-ish. Maybe 2.5. Alright. Well, I don't know exactly how far we're going to go, but we're going to get at least to level 2. Rank 8. I just kind of pulled an arbitrary number out of the bank. So however many this gets us to is however far we're going to go. Ah, it got us all the way to level 3. I thought it was going to stop short and we were going to waste it, but apparently XP gems can go over cap. So that's convenient that I didn't end up wasting that XP. Let's go take level 3. And we'll just have you drop us in the harbor. Let's see, what else are we missing? Alright, we need to stop by the Hall of Heroes as well. So, let's go. Bard, Warlock. There we go, Warlock Trainer. Spellcraft, UMD. And we're going to ignore those, and we're going to put points into concentration. And we'll grab Jump as our second spell. Advance to the next level as a Warlock. Spellcraft, UMD, Concentration. And let's see. We could grab just 1 to DCs, which is always nice. But I think we're going to go with probably Quicken. There we go. Now to spend points. Alright, so we do have a Universal Tome. So I'm going to do my traditional Feydark stuff, where we're just going to come in here and we're going to grab... It's going to be either some spell points or, like... Yeah. Just that much. And then we're going to ignore that. We're going to go into... Let's see. We want to go for Chain Shape first. So, Chain Shape. And we're going to stick with Chain Shape until we get Cone Shape. Cone Shape used to be much, much better. Now it's more of a preference thing, because it used to... The scaling used to be different on them, and Cone Shape scaled better, but they changed that. Now we get to spend racial points. Let's see. Spotless and Intimidate, we don't care. Rage, we don't really care. Exactly how you start a Blaster Warlock. Yeah, it's pretty standardized. And then we don't care about this, we don't care about that, we don't care about that. Natural Armor or... Spot and dodge while raging. Grab a point in that. And we'll just grab natural armor. Augment summoning we don't really care about, but we also don't care about this that much. Ah, there we go. Cast while raging. And we have 2 more racial points to spend. Obviously, if we were higher level, they would go into this base stuff for, like, ability scores to boost and whatnot. But for now, we'll just get more dodge while raging and augment summoning. Excellent. And if we had 2 more points, we might get... Ooh, release notes are up. Nice. I don't think I will read those right now, though. Oh, right. We also have these to roll. Heroic and... Why 19? Is it the 19th anniversary? Roll. Yay! We rolled a 7. Alright, well, we got 2 more XP gems from those, so we're just going to eat those. And let's see. We're going to put on the necklace. We're going to... Let's see. We lose a lot of defenses, but I don't think we care that much about the defenses we lose. Because we go from 67, 34. Yeah, we lose 10 PRR and MRR, but we no longer have spell failure. So there's that, which is nice. Monk changes and Dragon Disciple. Oh, and Champion Hunter. Very nice. So we have a couple more things to get to. We're going to go to the Hall of Heroes to get our Bloody Footprints. And we're going to go to Keep on the Borderlands to get a weapon or 2. And we should have just enough time to do that before an ad break sneaks up on us. And then it will be time to wreck dungeons. Oh, yes, I've been there. Season 5. Second favor reward. Thank you. We will go to feats. Minimize, minimize. Death follows you. Enhancements. Chain shape. Actually, we'll put them here. Take the spell casting. It's a cooldown, so it goes on that bar. This gives us extra force spell power. Send me to... Oh, for some reason I thought this could take me to the harbor. Oh well. Off we go. Next stop is Borderlands for our weapon. Yes, Twitch, I know you're going to run an ad soon. Thank you for telling me. I am keenly aware. I say that like I didn't miss it the last time it popped up. Because I was on a different screen and it didn't show me the countdown. Hello, yes. Send me to the Keep on the Borderlands, please. Thank you. We need cold and force. Which means we're not going to be wearing a shield at this level. Scepter of Glaciation, thank you. Select. Impulse. Alright. Where are our scepters? Alright. Impulse. Glaciation. Alright, very good. Just gonna grab these quests. Alright, and with like 1 minute to spare before they force ads on us, we will click the add button. We will return in 2.5 minutes and run Keep on the Borderlands. And so feel free to get up, stretch your legs and all. We're not going to play anything while we're on break, so we'll be all ready when we get back. Alright, and we should be back. In theory, hopefully. So we have gotten up, we stretched our legs, we refilled our drink, and of course, the only way to get a date, if you're the kind of person who streams games on the internet, is to buy some. Oh, interesting. Free discovery elixir effect. You know, when I first read through that, it's just like, oh, I guess I should get that if I'm going to run something specific, but then it's like, oh, it's refreshable. It's like guild buffs or house P buffs or anything along those lines, that it's just like, yeah, you just need to go back and refresh it every once in a while. So, that's nice. But alright, time to find out if anything in here is resistant to cold. How are our spell powers looking? Alright, cold and force are just over 100. Everything else is at like 70-ish. More than good enough.
Where the cultists and their monster allies have made their base.
R2. Haha. I mean, we don't have Reaper points active, so it's probably a bad idea, but... Oh, wait. We should probably bring our spells out onto the bar. And I don't have spell components. So, that's unfortunate.
The door behind you seals shut as you enter. There's now only one way to go.
Alright.
Forward. That's fine with you, as this cave is said to contain much treasure. A burly minotaur stands behind a magical barrier, guarding a pile of treasure.
Okay, off we go.
Always more. The minotaur snorts. Greed draws you adventurers like
We appear to have
moths
angered
the
some
flame.
bats, because otherwise I wouldn't have
But starving in my
alert.
cave with the treasure just out of reach.
Alright, off we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
This crest matches one of the sockets on the Minotaur's barrier.
I'm so used to, like, having more buttons to press, in particular just when running, being able to actually go for, like a sprint boost. Oh, see, these guys are immune to cold. So we just have to deal with only the force damage on them. That's odd. I didn't think all skeletons were immune to cold. I thought it was only like the black bones and stuff that were immune to like fire and cold. I guess I'm going to learn a lot this life about what is immune to cold. Oh, interesting. You get a cell phone to call your bros at the house of whatever. It's like, hey, hey guys, could you telebuff me? That'd be sweet, thanks. It's an interesting idea.
With all three crests neatly fitted into their sockets, the magical barrier fades. The infuriated Minotaur gives a roar
Yeah.
of rage and attacks.
Force, light, piercing, depending on how far you up, how far up you go in any particular tree.
Guarding is yours for the taking.
Rider's Chapeau. With no bonuses on it. Sad. But yeah, as you level up, and in particular as you go deeper in the Tainted Scholar tree, it's easier to get more packed dice than it is to get non-packed dice. So it's not gonna be like, oh, you take half damage. It's significantly less. But right now, they're relatively close. It's like, why is he scared? It's like, oh, must be Colors of the Queen. And another big benefit of being in Tainted Scholar first, besides, you know, just rushing Chain Shape, is that we get our temp health stuff from casting spells. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't group these up because... yep, that's why. Because you can get tripped, and then it's just a group beatdown while you're on the ground.
You notice the glint of silver in the far corner of this chamber. As the first lever is pulled, the crystal...
Fortunately, I have hotkeyed Featherfall onto where I would normally hotkey a healing spell. Because right now, it gives me 19 temp health. And 19 temp health is a pretty solid healing spell at this level. Or in this content, at least.
You hear the muffled voices of bugbears ahead.
Like, does Cure Minor Wounds heal for 19? No. No, it does not.
As the second lever is pulled,
And off we go.
the rumble of the sealed doors sliding open.
But yeah, I expect I'll run into various undead that are immune. I don't know if it's all skeletons that are immune. I'm fairly confident that zombies are resistant but not immune. Well, the thing is, balance doesn't help against trip. Balance helps you get up faster, but getting tripped is just a dex check.
A massive bugbear growls and attacks.
So that's an unfortunate thing about it. Yeah, that's what I said. It helps you get back up faster. Okay. Now for single target, and this is why, as I was pushing stuff around, I didn't actually put my chain shape over here with like the permanent auras. I have it over here hotkeyed. Because in cases like that, where I'm on one target, I do actually just hotkey over and switch to single target, because chain shape gives you one less pack dice. So I was like, no, I'll take, when I know I'm only going to be fighting one target, we'll do some extra pack dice. I mean, it's not a lot, but given that right now I have one extra packed dice, it's cutting them in half. So +1 isn't a big deal if you're at like 30, but if you're at 2, a difference of 1 up and down is a lot on a percentage basis. Also, I don't actually know the route this way. I always go cold side, but then I was like, wait, I should probably not go cold side for the obvious reasons. Is this the right way? Alright, we got guys coming from the side. Sure, sure. Which way is the boss dude? Are you this way? Well, this guy's guarding a door. I don't know if it's a boss door, though. Hey, it is the right door. Excellent. Come on. Suddenly 600 damage.
The lever clicks into place, and the sound of grinding gears can be heard somewhere in the cave.
That is, I mean, you've mentioned that before. I do sometimes, but I because as you've mentioned before, it doesn't actually reset. Like, or rather it does reset. Like, every time you log out, it turns itself off. I've used it before, but it's not something I'm used to enough that I spend the effort to turn it back on every time. So, like, I do find it useful the times that I have remembered to turn it on, but it's not something that's really, like, ingrained that I'm always going to have on.
Grinding gears can be heard once again as a gate opens somewhere in the cave.
Let's see. I think I've gotten a names drop in every chest so far. So, I guess that they just turned it on and wanted everyone to have like 100% extra treasure finding effect on them at all times. That's definitely what's happening, and not I just happened to get lucky. A bidding war for sentient food, really. I'm gonna say that's unusual just because normally the stuff that you would use for sentient food is bound to character, or at least bound to either account or character. So, named items that are high enough level to actually give decent sentient XP are pretty uncommon. Like, what are you bidding for? Or is it like the sentient XP drops themselves that are not weapons and armor? They're just like, feed this to give the thing XP. Because I actually don't remember what the binding is on those. Alright, these guys I remember can be pretty nasty with some of the spells they can cast. Fortunately, one advantage of Chain Shape is that if the mobs and you are positioned just right, you can hit guys around the corner pretty easily. Shadow Sight, Prismatic Cloak. Ah, I see. Yeah, some of these stuff from... not High Road. I'm thinking High is in High Road because it's, you know, they're high up, but Stormhorns. Yeah, those are what, level 27, I want to say? So yeah, I guess those are decent sentient food. I mean, it's not the same as 30 plus stuff, but... Okay, we got a Carnage Reaper. We've got guys coming up behind us so we can't move. Now this is, of course, a downside of Chain Shape as compared to Cone Shape. Cone Shape has unlimited targets. So we could have been AoEing all of these instead of just a couple at a time. Of course, the downside to Cone Shape is that it's shorter range. Like, you can't hit guys from as far away. But that's just the trade-off that you make, really.
Small, squalid cave entrances dot the ravine walls. These must be the Caves of Chaos, where the cultists and their monster allies have made their base.
Alright.
You enter the caves, determined to eliminate another threat to the residents of the
It
keep.
is nice having, like, AoE damage from the beginning, though. It's just so much smoother compared to Last Life. And obviously some of that is going to be just comfort and familiarity, because I've played this build before, or I've played similar builds before, but I hadn't played like a dual wield character from one before. So part of that is just going to be what I'm used to, but part of it is just like pulls like this that have other guys in them. It's like, there's a bunch of dudes here. And while this isn't as good as Cone Shape, it's a heck of a lot better than just Dark Hunter was. You, stop that.
door opens, a small goblin
The
cries
person who
out.
joined tried to share this quest with me. The quest that I am already inside.
The goblin falls. Looking around, you spot an iron key in the back of the chamber.
There we go. So someone has joined us. So we have 2 people, so it'll go twice as fast. And you don't have to target cone shape. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you don't have to target chain shape either. You can just fire it randomly. It's not like one of those things that requires a target, but if you want it to be accurate, it requires a target. Otherwise, it might just go into the ceiling or the floor.
This heavy iron-bound door is fitted with an impeccable magical lock. The door swings open on well-ordered hinges, starting the hobgoblins on the far side. You hear the sounds of guttural chanting coming from the chamber ahead.
Hey, everybody! Now we do extra damage.
A magical barrier seals off the passage. Perhaps the magical runes on
All
the
right.
wall are the key to opening it.
Now we need to be very careful so we don't fail the very simple puzzle of can you remember 5 things? Can you remember 5 things while talking to people about different stuff? Did anyone see the third one? I saw 1, 2, and then I heard a third ding, and then 4. So, the other trick is, can you remember it? And will the game lag during the puzzle displaying the pattern? That's the other trick. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Success this time. So, like, as I mentioned with cone shape having unlimited targets, it's more viable to, like, run and gather multiple packs and hit them at the same time. But since if I pull 2 packs together with chain shape, I'm only going to be hitting the same number of guys, and I'll just be getting hit by more stuff at the same time. So it's just not as compelling an argument that you want to do that. Okay, opening this. I forget exactly how many it hits, whether it's 4 or 5.
Something about this
Oh, that's a Famine Reaper. We should prioritize that.
The wall in the armory slides open, making barely a sound.
Let's see. Yeah, this guy is solo, so we're going to switch to extra damage.
Hobgoblin chieftain lurches out of his throne with a roar. The hobgoblin chieftain slumps to
Hooray.
the ground, dead.
I am still batting 1,000. I have gotten a named item from every single quest so far. If only I could get this sort of luck in Myth Draenor instead of Keep on the Borderlands. Okay. Off we go. Now, I don't think that having high enough charisma,
Several guards ahead.
but with
In the entrance
no
to the
points and
hall,
skills is enough to do the socials in here,
herself for a fight.
but I'm gonna find out.
Calls out to you in a shrill voice. Eula Bloodgleam, daughter of the Knoll chieftain, has given you a charm
Okay,
of evil
off we
powers
go.
to help you infiltrate the camp. She and the Knoll Outlanders
We're gonna
want
swap to
leave the
this.
Borderlands.
You there! If you're looking for a way inside, I've got
So we
just
still need to
the
do
thing.
that
But I might need
to do the
some
gathering evidence
help.
bit.
Oros Sandcloak lets you in
So
on
we
a
need to do this part either
secret.
way,
Bloodgleam
whether
has
we do
been
the socials or
warning the
not.
Outlanders about sending their comrades to join the cult.
Hi.
If you can prove that Outlanders are being killed as sacrifices instead, it will destroy their loyalty to the chief.
And we can grab the rat bone while we're here, just in case we can't make those. Oh, no, we can't grab it if we haven't talked to him. Okay. Well, this is going to be slower than average if I don't make these social checks, because I did things in the quote-unquote wrong order. I do have skill mastery, which is why I swapped over to it.
This tablet belongs
Hi.
to a gnoll named Boomfist,
Bluff success.
who claims to know a dark secret about Zart Soot Club.
Intimidate success.
Talking to Boomfoot could be very useful.
Diplomacy
The gnoll
success.
nods in agreement.
Alright.
Convinced you've stumbled across
Great
the
success.
Skin's diary. The Outlander. You've convinced members of the tribe to turn against the Cult of Evil Chaos and found proof that Chief Bloodgleam has been
And now
lying
we get to
about
watch them,
sending
like, talk a little
Outlanders
bit,
to work
and then
with
we fight.
cultists. This should be more than enough to create an uprising in the Gnoll's ranks. Chief Bloodgleam bellows at the crowd.
You would trust this outsider over your own chief? Have you forgotten everything the cult has done for you idiots?
Yay, temp
The
health.
Outlanders seem to reconsider. But you have something that will convince them. You hold up Gravemaw's bloody ring and reveal that you found
Alright.
it in the chief's
Come on,
shrine.
go aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Someone shouts.
See, you saw that shot when I wasn't targeting something go like straight up to the ceiling? That is one reason why I definitely prefer
Another
cone shape.
group of gnolls rushes into the chamber.
I think there's one more way?
You think you've won against the
Yeah.
onslaught of
There we
gnoll
go.
cultists.
I know in Epic there's like another wave and there's like wolves that come off from this side.
Around at the blood-stained earth. Not a single cultist remains standing.
There we go.
The Outlanders cheer, relieved that they can finally leave the borderlands behind.
Those fools!
Still 100%.
I can't believe they took
A blue in every chest.
Eula stands beside Oro, who laughs
Charisma builds are very handy for solo when you can hit all the socials.
than it initially seemed.
That's true.
Chief Bloodgleam and the other cultists out of the way, Eula and Oro can finally escape into the wilds together. As they turn to leave, Eula tells you to hold on to the charm of evil chaos she gave you, in case you need help defeating the rest of the cult.
And yes, I know this is level 2, but it's fine.
Whispering
wait.
voices and scraping sounds announce the presence of undead.
Oh wait, I was on single target that whole time. That might explain why stuff took a little longer to kill. I never switched back to chain shape after we finished that other quest. So, that's a mistake on my part. Fortunately, it's not the sort of mistake that's really going to hold us back too much in this level content. It means we probably relied on our what? On our party member here more to deal damage because we were not dealing as much. Oh, that's right. The TRXP changes happen as well. This was a discussion in the Discord as well. And something that I thought of that I hadn't seen brought up much was how it interacts with the TRs of new people with whether or not they have quest packs. So before, like, there's enough free content that you can rerun like Lords of Dust enough times to get to 20. Whatever. But after you TR, and now you're going to take extra XP to level, you're really not going to have enough quests to hit 20 again, free to play, assuming you didn't get the code. Like, when you're on later lives. However, with the change, this gives people a little bit more leeway to, to build up some points from favor, to grab a couple extra packs. Grab Giant Hold for that big dead zone at like 13 and 14. Maybe grab a 3-Barrel Cove, and so on and so forth. Like, there's a lot of places that need filling out. Grab Vaughn. Vaughn is also good because there's only one level 9 free-to-play quest. 1. So it's just like, okay, Vault of Night's good for that range. Maybe Red Fens, but Red Fens isn't as highly suggested, because Vault of Night's got great stuff in it. Now, obviously, even if you didn't get codes, and if they don't give the code pack again, the sales where like Ravenloft goes on sale for $1 go a long way to fill in some of these gaps. It's like, alright, you spend $1 on Ravenloft, and suddenly that big dead zone of like, alright, there's only one level 9 quest. It's like, yeah, but now you've got Ravenloft, you got some 10, 11, 12 stuff in there, so that's decent. So if you've got like Ravenloft and let's just say you've got like Ravenloft and Giant Hold, you're pretty set for that level range on a First Life, or I guess now not just First Life, but any like base XP requirement character. And then you've got some time to build up points and, you know, flesh out your stuff a bit. Or, you know, lives take a while. So it gives enough time for maybe expansion packs to go on sale. So sure, the newest stuff isn't going to go on sale. You're not going to get like Vecna or Myth Draenor. But what you might do is you might get, maybe you get Dread. Excellent. Go to this page. So, I mean, Dread is still relatively recent. Also, like to point out, still 100%. We've still gotten a named item in every chest and keep it in Borderlands. I don't know if they upped the drop rate here, or we have just gotten very unusually lucky, because drop rates are supposed to be in Elite/Reaper about 1/3, like 33%. We are sitting at like 8 in a row. This is incredibly unlikely. So I don't know what's going on with it. But hey, if they want to be a little bit more generous with drop rates, I see no reason to critique them. We're just going to face tank these guys a little bit. Oh, that's a Famine Reaper. Now, if I recall correctly, level 4 is a very good level for us as a Warlock, because we get both 1 extra pack dice and 1 extra base Eldritch Blast dice. So it's actually a pretty big boost to your damage. Because as I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the penalty for being in chain or cone shape, it makes a big deal, that plus or minus 1, when you're only at 1 or 2 dice to start with. Like, later on, it doesn't matter as much. It's like, oh, I went from 8 dice to 9. But going from 1 to 2, 1 to 2 is a big jump. But yes, where were we? Oh, yes. On TR curves.
You must now confront the creature he tried to tame.
Okay, yeah, 2% chance. That's not too bad. I also don't recall if it was exactly 8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was 6.
You spot skittering vermin inside the
3 up top, then we jump down. 4, 5, go up. 6, 7. No, this will be 8. This will be 8. Oh, 0.02%. You already moved the thing.
You've slain the Owlbear, ending the cult's plan to make the beast into a weapon they can
Oh,
use
look.
against the residents of the valley.
Continuing to bat 1,000. Maybe they just bumped the drop rate here. I don't know, because that's very odd. 8 for 8 on named items. It's weird. I don't know why. Alright. Alright. We have 2 more points to spend? 2 more points to spend. Our 2 points will go into another dice. You're just gonna go double check Myth Draenor and see if it's everywhere, or just like keep on the Borderlands, or just me. Alright, let me see. Let me double check them to see if there's anything actually good in them. Alright. Oh, you've had weird things happen there too? Yeah, because I just went through and got a named item in every single one. All 8. So let's see. No bonus. No bonus. No bonus. So at least, like, the Reaper bonuses aren't similarly borked. Wait, no, that's an old one. I already had that one. It won't be a locked one. No bonus. No bonus. And no bonus. Alright, so no Mythic or Reaper on any of them. But still... Oh no, I'm not touching the, I'm not touching the online gambling. I think it was a year or two ago, they legalized sports betting in my state. And I got hit with ads for online gambling non-stop. Like, continuously. It was like half the ads I got served. For like 2 months, leading up to when it became legal. It's like, no, leave me alone. Heck, I still get them sometimes. Just the, like, whatever those sports betting things are. It's like, spend $5 and we'll give you so many dollars of bonus bets. Play all sorts of different bets. Everything is more fun with gambling. It's like, leave me alone.
Treasure chest. Perhaps the cultists brought it here, but it's yours now. There's another Sahuagin.
Oh, yours too, eh?
The crest drops out as you smash.
Did yours get legalized, like, semi-recently too, like within the last couple years? Because, I mean, we've had the lottery and stuff for a while, because, you know, it theoretically funds education. But the sports betting is... It's wild how hard it's being pushed. Like, it has calmed down since, like, the month or two when it just became legalized, but it's still a lot.
In the middle of this chamber is an evil... When the altar collapses,
Do,
a
do, do.
third crest appears. It glows with cold magic.
Yeah, let's see. Although, something that has overtaken it for me recently for ads, specifically and especially on Twitch, is TurboTax. I will be watching a stream, I will get an ad for TurboTax, it'll be like a 15-second ad, but I will see that same ad twice, back to back, in the same ad block. Not just like twice in the same 90-second ad block, I'll get the same one, but like it finishes the end and it loops back to the beginning and plays the exact same ad twice back to back. It is incredibly annoying. Like, I understand that it is tax season and you want to get the word out, but I don't think playing the same ad twice in a row is going to do much more than annoy me.
With more than just guts.
Dust and mold fill this ill-maintained
I understand.
You can hear
I understand this is your busy season. This is when you make all of your money. But still.
This appears to be the main storeroom. It seems the villagers have been preparing for a protracted
Alright.
siege.
Where's the key?
A large
Oh,
silver
there it is.
key for Sahuagin emerges from a hidden passage, demanding the key.
I don't need to fight the red names.
Scrolls fall into devour.
And it's not Reaper, so it doesn't matter if I don't kill everything. I'm not getting Reaper XP anyway.
The door swings. It appears that the floor in this room can be moved and rotated. spell dissipates.
There we
All that
go.
remains now is to take
And I know that the XP here isn't great, but I mean, on a per minute basis, that's not bad. It's 1,000 XP in under a minute. Which obviously at higher levels isn't very good, but for a level 1 quest, it ain't bad. We'll grab this one. And now for the super powerful quest. And I say super powerful because it drops one of the strongest pieces of gear at level 1. But I'm already wearing it, so it's not going to help me any. Which is, of course, the Spear Bane. 4 damage resistance against archers and spiders and things of that nature.
crystal Boldar spoke.
Unsurprisingly, quite good at this level.
Approach those who would doom Korthos by destroying it.
Alright, where you at? I don't have a lot of spot this life because I'm not a trapper. There you are. But yeah, the gambling ads are crazy. And of course, they do the little veneer of responsibility, like, problem gambling helpline, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. No, I don't believe that you care one bit. This is purely because it's been legislated and regulated that you have to do that. If you didn't have to do that, you would be trying to hook people even harder. Oh, this quest is surprisingly easy to fail even with a leveled character, because they only need to hit the crystal like 3 times. So if you don't have like the burst damage, or you just get unlucky and a couple run straight to it and ignore you, I have failed this quest on this character within the last year several times. Just because the build couldn't kill something fast enough, or like 2 ran past me to the crystal at once. Like, they don't need to hit it many times to kill it. Yeah, pulling out a wall of hirelings is a very effective strategy here. I actually considered, like, just now, when I was running at this life, grabbing Byron to just give myself the safer approach of like, okay, alright, there's someone else both to kill things and to distract things. Fortunately, we have gotten past the difficult part. There's only one guy left, and he spawns right there. Now we just have to wait for him and assassinate him as soon as he spawns. Eventually. Now I'm getting paranoid that I'm wrong about the spawn point, and like, it's just like, I swear he spawns here. If I'm wrong and he spawns behind me and I fail the quest, that will be incredibly ironic. It's like, yeah, it's totally possible to fail this quest. I mean, I'm not failing it right now, but clearly, like other people do.
Lips as you walk by. Cautious looks have become friendly nods. Then word comes that your presence is requested in the tavern.
Hi. Now I'm having trouble clicking on things because if you weren't here earlier for when we were doing our TR, it did that thing where it messed up my mouse sensitivity because I logged out and logged in too many times.
This must be the collaborator stepping in from the dark.
So I clicked the button on my mouse to make it more sensitive. So, you know, now my turning radius when in mouse look mode is normal again, but it zips all over the place if I exit mouse look mode. Unless it's never you. What do you mean never me? I just said I failed it, like, within the last year. Probably within the last couple months. It is very easy to fail that quest, just because of how vulnerable the crystal is.
But you hear more of them gathering outside for a final assault. You notice a small
Yes, I
chest.
realize that there's a chest there. It's fine. It'll be fine. We're just blasting our way through stuff. It is just so nice to be back on a comfort class after the more experimental class. Well, experimental for me. It's a well-established archetype,
The Southwagen storm.
but it's just not one I'm used to playing, and it doesn't shine in these sorts of leveling situations.
Secret passage looks ancient.
For those who'd missed it, last life I was on a Dark Hunter Tempest build, which you know, once it gets going, it can shred single targets real easy, but especially before 12, the AoE is abysmal. And most of leveling is AoEing things, so it's nice to just have good old chain shape just chewing through everything.
There. That weaselly Drexelhand has nowhere left to run. Finish the job. Drexelhand thought that siding with a
Where's the red name? There we go. Hello. Oh, interesting. It has been a long time since I've run Falconry. But one benefit of Falconry, for the topic that we were just on, is Falconry does have AoE attacks baked into it, right? I'm pretty sure that it's got a cleave on the second tier, I want to say. Let me check that. I could be wrong.
Your victories have made the village much safer.
Alright, let's double check.
But only temporarily. It's time to take the fight to the Sahuagin, out
Falconry.
in the wilds of Korthos Island.
Let's see. Alright, so that one's single target. Is this one cleave? No, it's still one target. Okay. Okay, you don't get cleave until all the way up here. Alright, I am wrong. It takes a while to get the AoE in Falconry. Of course, it's like level 4 instead of level 12, but still. You wouldn't rely on them? Oh, that's right. That cleave has a pretty long cooldown, doesn't it? Yeah, 25 seconds. That's a long cooldown for just a plus 25% cleave. 3 out of 4 named in Myth Draenor Wilderness. That's pretty solid. That's actually really solid. Are those the, those are normal red named, right? Not the, dragon or the worm?
Steam billows from the hidden entrance to an
Get
underground.
off the entrance. Right, okay. You know, I've never, like, I've actually, like, tried a lot and failed. But I haven't gotten around to, like, looking at the rare spawns and figuring out, like, a route to, like, hit a bunch of them. Like, I've done that for stuff like Feywild or Saltmarsh, where I've just kind of, because those have the weapons that can drop at relatively high rates, I've done a decent amount of, like, sentient XP farming in there, just, like, running circles to grab weapons to feed. Also, if it's like Saltmarsh, you can get filigree and you can get sentient XP gems, because those also drop from those same things. Toddlibby, thank you for the raid. We have finished our TR and we are going through level 1 quests. Welcome in. What were you doing this evening? Or this morning? I don't know your time zone, actually.
What are they guarding?
What's odd is that I didn't hear an alert. I saw the alert, but I didn't hear it, so I'm going to have to look into that.
Extravagant gong in this room looks capable of truly ear-shattering noise.
Alright, gong number 1.
Those reverberations, you hear a slight rumble from the larger room. But then,
Gong number 2.
the second strike of the gong
And off we go.
produces the
So, we are trying Cursari Warlock. I have played a lot of Warlock, but I have not played Cold Warlock before, so it is both new and familiar. And we were just talking about how, for me at least, it's very much a comfort thing, since I've done a lot of Warlock. And it's much smoother leveling than Last Life, where we were a Tempest build, a Dark Hunter Tempest build. Raids this evening. Excellent.
in the putrid water.
And getting some items. What were you farming for, and did you have any luck? Both for the raid items or the
Great relief.
other items.
The air seems slightly
We got unusually lucky in Keep on the Borderlands.
ice must be
And when I say unusually lucky, I mean I ran all 8 of the Keep on the Borderlands quests, and I got names drops in 8 of the 8 quests. As in, 100%, we got a name drop in every single quest. Which is incredibly unlikely if the drop rates are the expected 1/3.
This solidifies into ice over the ancient creature, but it's not enough. You need both jets to affect a thing of this size.
1 out of 4 good legendary items on the First Life Artificer. That
Over the ancient
is awesome.
creature, guaranteeing its slumber.
Was there anything particular you were actually going for, or is this just general good stuff?
Steam billows from
Like any particular chase items, like you're really going for a good repeater build, or good repeating crossbow, I should say. Depends on if you were on a repeater build to start with versus like caster artificer, or maybe you're one of those few people who wants to actually build the melee artificer with a bastard sword, just full renegade master maker. I know that they were semi-popular for tanks at some point, though I haven't heard anything about that in a while.
a mangled sewer grate leads to an old abandoned Cannith manufactory.
I have dual crossbow, rune arm, dual spell range.
Decades ago, house, the doorway ahead has been boarded
Okay, you've lost me a little bit. Dual crossbow is an inquisitive, yes, okay, got it. Rune arm, yes, you can wear rune arm when you're inquisitive dual shooting. But you're also spellcasting? I haven't seen that variant of also casting spells while being inquisitive. Interesting. Like you're just working in blast cone or blast rod or whatever it is? So are you mostly going for damage on the spells, or are you just trying to use Artificer's big knockdown crowd control spells primarily?
a magical barrier.
Because I'm not really familiar with that build, so it'd be interesting to see how it works. Does it work? Does it work well?
Disable it somewhere.
Because sometimes I try different builds, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't. They usually work okay, but sometimes we'll say, not up to expectations. Or, it's like, this was kind of interesting, but not very good.
Some alchemical
So, okay.
upon turning the valve,
Interesting. So,
definite alteration in the pitch of the hiss
how well does Inquisitive handle
around your
the interruption to its attack animations? Like, I'm assuming you have quick draw to decrease the time between, like, firing and spell casts.
chemical jets coating the Cannith. The last crystal shatters. the
Oh,
hum of
neat.
power slowly
It's working well?
fades into a
Cool.
heavy silence.
Quick draw, yes. So, I'm gonna guess that your basic rotation is you hit No Holds Barred, you cast no spells while No Holds Barred is going, and then you dump all of your spells so they're on cooldown while No Holds Barred comes back up and you can hit it again.
The Sahara
Something like that, because that's how I'm thinking it would work in my head.
is in your hands.
Yes? Haha! Once again, basic game knowledge mechanics lets me predict the future! It's just like, this is what it does. It's like, how would it do that? Because I'm just sitting here thinking, like, there isn't enough quick draw in the world to weave spells in between No Holds Barred while it is in the middle of going. But that's interesting that it kind of shore up some of, I was going to say Inquisitive, but like just ranged in general's weakness of like AoE. Although that weakness has gone away in recent years since they introduced the AoE shots. Because the AoE shots, I found when I did them a couple lives back, were actually pretty handy. And especially if you're on Artificer, the Artificer tree also gets a couple good like AoE shots that not only are AoE, but they also shoot a number of times equal to how many bolts you'd shoot. So that seems good. Oh, Nimvind, a second raid. We were just talking to Todd Libby here about his dual, his caster, artificer, inquisitive. where you're weaving in spells as well as shooting things with your crossbows, which is not something I've seen before. So we're just kind of talking about how it worked. So how did your stream go, Nimvind? Everything go well? I think last I talked to you, you were leveling a bard as like kind of a secondary character, if I'm remembering correctly. It's also very possible that I am not remembering correctly. Was it raid night for you as well? I think Todd Libby was on a raid night, and he got actually 3 drops, which is nice.
Latest attack. Perhaps you should talk to him again.
Go now. Tell Ursa to hold the barricade just a little longer. Then meet Amalgam at the base of
Nimvind does not need to be invited. Nimvind goes where he pleases.
Finally persuaded to help.
And I am glad that he pleased to come here. Thank you for the raid, Nimvind. Thank you for bringing all your people over here. We have just TR'd into Carceri Storm Warlock. I've played a lot of Warlock, but I've actually never done Carceri Storm before. So, as I was saying, it's a mix of both a comfort class and something a little new in there as well. So we're doing a basic blaster type for our 3rd shifter life. Oh, wait, no, Twitch, don't do that, Twitch. Stop that.
Decrepit catacombs are
Stop that.
slightly
Snooze. Do not run ad immediately after being raided. I wish Twitch would automatically detect that somehow.
You enter a musty hall, heavy with silence and the
It's
weight
just
of
like,
dark stone.
would you like to run ads 1 minute after the raid has appeared? It's like, no. No, I would not, Twitch. Why would I want to do that?
Decay assail your nostrils. In
That's
the
a terrible
corner, you see
idea,
the
Twitch.
glint of metal. As the secret door slides open, you see a magical cell.
But yes,
across the chamber.
going through some well-worn content here in Korthos. I know a lot of people skip it, particularly like this, where I did actually use XP stones until I got to level 3. But if I skip it, I always end up like short on Coin Lord's favor later, so I tend to do Korthos anyway. Even if I do start it at level like 2 instead of level 1. Or 3 in the case of today. But yes, it's a little interesting trying to kill the skeletons as Carceri Storm, as they are immune to cold damage. So, puts us at a bit of a disadvantage there, but we're getting by. You have a stack of... That is a lot of free cakes. That is a ridiculous amount of cake. I haven't seen so much cake since I turned off Safe Search on Twitter. There is just so much to be had there. But, you know, I'm pretty sure I just mixed metaphors. I don't think Twitter has a Safe Search, or if it does, it almost definitely doesn't work well. Hello, would you like to spawn Jacoby Drexelhand for me? There we go.
Jacoby Drexelhand stands before
Jacoby Drexelhand, who has a ridiculous amount of health. He's got like 10 times as much health as everything else this level. I suppose he was like the first actual boss that people run into, just based on the amount of health he's got.
a curse and swears to return again before collapsing in a heap of bones.
Yes, thank you.
You take the cell key from his remains.
And out we go. Alright, so we got one more thing on Korthos before we head over to the harbor. And I don't think it's going to get us up to level 4, so we will have to start harbor without Reaper points, which
The decrepit
is really no big deal. It's not that hard.
obscured by the falling
Well,
water.
specifically, it's not that hard on this character. This character's got a bunch of past lives on it. It's also not that hard on first life characters, but it's, you have to play a little bit differently. A little bit more careful, pay a little bit more attention to things, whereas... Well, let me put it this way. If you're not familiar with True Resurrection, I'm assuming most people here are because I'm playing DDO, and most of you probably found me through DDO, and the 2 raids that came in here are also from people who play DDO. But if you are not aware, most past lives give you defensive power, and a significant amount of it.
Resilient spider webs.
Not that many give offensive power. So the main thing that past lives let you do is play more recklessly without getting punished for it. Now, that said, there are a couple past lives that have a significant impact on offensive power. One of them is at least as far as this character is concerned, getting a 9% crit on elemental damage. So that's a significant boost. But besides that, like, there's really very little. But there's a lot of armor class, there's a lot of PRR, there's a lot of other stuff that just really benefits. Like, I'm at 55 and 22 for PRR MRR at level 3. And so that's like, I don't have Feywild gear, like, this is just level 3. Although, to be fair, I am wearing a lot of level 1 gear that just doesn't do much besides having Mythic or Reaper or PRR on it. So, there is that. And it's not like we're a Paladin and have a stance that gives us a whole bunch of extra either. Oh good, she's right here. That makes it convenient. We just kill this dude.
The evil cult leader
Talk to you, and we're good to go. Alright. And that does it for Korthos. So we're going to go double recall, and we're going to head over to the harbor. And as this is a good stopping point, or not stopping point, we're not stopping. We're simply moving, we'll say. But because we are between chains, and because Twitch has bothered me twice now to run ads, we are going to run a 2.5 minute ad break. We run the 2.5 minute ad break so we don't have pre-rolls on the stream. And that's really the only reason why. It means that I can control it instead of Twitch controlling it. And because I can control it, it means that I can choose to not run quests while the ads are running. So while the ads are running, I'm going to get up, you know, stop staring at the computer screen for a little bit, stretch my legs, refill my drink. I encourage everyone else here to do the same, stand up, stretch, move around a little bit, all that good stuff. We will be back in 2.5 minutes, and I will hope to see you there on the other side of this ad break. How dare you, OBS? Why must you betray me? Oh, it's doing this stupid thing again. Where are you? Technical difficulties, one moment. No? Okay, we'll fix it later. Oh, unfuck it, we'll not do it live. Alright, we have returned from ads. I cannot hear my own sound alerts. And I cannot hear people rating either, but fortunately I was able to see the messages so that they did not go unnoticed. Oh, we have another point. More dice! Super. Actually, wait. Are there other groups? There are not. Oh. I forgot to get reagents so that I can cast jump. I should probably get those before I do Kobold's new ringleader.
The way into the gambling hall is clear.
But yes, I am opting for Reaper 2 just because. Because I'm on comfort and I know that the build is strong at these levels, I don't really need to run R1. We can hit R2 until a Reaper just decides to spawn and annihilate me for fun and to punish me for my hubris. Alright, off we go. Now, we are high enough level that we can cast Death Ward on ourselves. It's largely pointless because there is nothing at this level that is casting death spells on me. But it's nice to know that I could if I wanted to. To be just safe from death, or at least specific kinds of death. Not any death, but, you know, some death. Hello. Oh no, he released the hounds. Not the hounds. Oh, I got crit for 14. That is quite impressive. Alright. Not enough XP to hit level 4. So we still do not have Reaper points, but that is okay. We managed to survive without having Reaper points. It'll be fine. But before I forget, we are going to go get reagents. Hello. Yes. I would like 1,000 of these, please. Thank you. And just to get ahead of the curve, we're getting 1,000 of these too. I would get more, but you only sell levels 1 and 2, so we're going to stick with just that. And Kobold's new ringleader. We're going to skip that dude on the left there. We don't like him. Hello, Bonebite Hideout. Yes, we will go in on R2. Thank you. And we have more shields this time. Not more shields. Why did I say more shields? I said more shields because I was currently casting the shield spell when I did it. What we actually have is more dice. So you can see that our cold damage is doing way more than force, because we only have 1 force die, but we have, I believe, 4 packed dice? I believe it's technically that I have 5 packed dice, but it's reduced by 1 because we're using chain shape. Hello. E has joined us again. E popped into group earlier when we were running Keep on the Borderlands.
The door is locked tight. It can only be opened when the runes are lit. Look for the 2 mechanisms that will unlock the door when
I just love the random, like, several hundred damage that pops up from Colors of the Queen hitting some random spell that's just like, we're gonna do a ton of damage. It's like, why? Because. So yes, this is a pretty well-established character. We have a significant amount of past lives. We've got almost all of our epic past lives. We're missing one. We have class completionist, not epic, not like uber completionist, but we've done each class once. We are getting close to racials. I think we have 6 more racials to do. And then it'll... Well, I'm behind on iconics and stuff, but suffice to say, between the epics and the racial lives, it's a lot of lives. So we're pretty well established. Ooh, we get to take level 4 now. And that means we get to have Reaper points again. So it's a very nice boost to our survivability, which will be handy when we go into stealthy here in a moment. Stealthy repossession, where they attempt to teach you the stealth mechanics of the game that do not really work very well. Yes, more warlock, more charisma. Spellcraft, UMD, concentration. And Bulwark of the Storm, will saving throws. Excellent. See? Blast damage and pack damage. Very nice. Oh, we get a level 2 spell. Blur, why not? I'm gonna have permablur on most gear once I actually get into Feywild and further gear, but you know, might as well for now. All right, we're gonna do this the not stealthy way, which is to say, we're gonna kill stuff to the first lever, and then we're gonna not kill stuff. Oh. Have a great dinner, and thank you again for the raid. Oh, thank you for the reminder. That was slightly too late. We'll just have to live without them. Or die without them. Whichever way it goes. We will be without them. Oh, that's a Reaper. Who immediately hits me for like 50. Alright, we're going to switch to single target now. This is why I hotkeyed the different attack shapes. So that I don't have to get stuck in chain shape and like mouse over and click something.
Several steps are spattered with rust-colored spots.
There we go. Okay. You know, I probably should have put web on my bars, even if I wasn't going to use it in general, but for this quest in particular. Just because it's like, hey, this would be a good place to have web.
Flimsy-looking suspension bridges converge on a central platform. There are many footprints.
Alright, that's another Reaper over there. It's a fear this time. That's annoying. Shaman. Alright. You get the second lever. They appear to be distracted by the other person in my party. Let's give them some temp health.
The ramp descends into the warehouse's lowest depths.
Alright. We attempt to kill this guy so we can't interrupt us pulling the lever. And we should be good to go, just need to grab the gem.
This must be the kobolds' ersatz shrine to Kyber. The chief gem on the altar glows with a strange and sickly light.
Alright, and now we can kill these guys as much as we want. You use web all the time until you get Evards? I mean, it's not bad, it's just that in most quests, it's not worth casting because stuff dies fast enough that there's just no point in holding it. And I find it easier to just kite and run and kill stuff on the run than to try to hold it in place. Now, there are certain quests where it's handy, like if there's like choke points and you're kiting stuff, or stuff is spawning and you're kiting stuff and that sort of thing, but Most of the time, the most effective crowd control is just kill them. And before I forget, Reaper points. We want PRR, we want reflex saves. And charisma. Spell pen, and this is just for health. Strength. There we go, and bring this. Nope, not that one. This one. There we go. Continue on Reaper 2. Alright. 10 health for both of us. Jump for me, shield for me.
You enter the sewer. Garrison calls from above. At the end of the
Oh, look, a sentry.
you see a makeshift gong and a lone kobold.
That power spike at 4 of getting the extra dice makes a huge difference. Just phenomenal difference. Oh look, gray oozes are also immune to cold, but you know, they're immune to a lot of stuff. They're immune to fire. I don't think they're immune to lightning.
Soft sound.
So there's that at least.
Snoring animal echoes along the tunnel.
There we go. He's got that racial dragon breath going, which is super handy. What is he anyway? Blightcaster? I saw him casting some acid stuff, so maybe he's Blightcaster.
You notice dim signal crystals
Blightcaster is one that I did 2 lives ago when I was doing a life where I skipped all of the stuff I would normally run. So we skipped all of the expansions, we skipped Three Barrel Cove, we skipped Giant Hold. We basically only did the weird quests. Oh, he's already there. Excellent.
metal and ripples spread
It was an interesting life. It was, of course, a slower life and a more difficult life.
above a metal
But it was kind of neat to revisit some stuff I hadn't been to in a while. We actually finished off in Shavrath
leave the festering
some of those old, like, Yugoloth quests.
new scent.
And specifically, I forget the name of the quest, but it's the one where it's like 3 levels of mazes that are made out of hexagons, and they're semi-random, so you can't even like wiki your way through them.
That has been unceremoniously
So,
inside a brazier.
yeah, level 4 Blightcaster. So that was interesting. The quest has, I think it's an hour and a half timer that you must beat or you fail the quest. And we did beat the timer, but it did take a full 45 minutes. Just because it's a bit of a tricky quest to find your way around in. And I'm sure if I ran it a bunch of times, I could get that time down. Or if I were in a group, so like we could split to find the way forward, those would both make it much, much faster. But, you know, that wasn't what that life was about. That life was about just kind of wandering around, running quests that I hadn't run in like a decade. So
The air reeks of
it was good for that part at least. It was handy. Alright, so we've got some oozes that are going to be attacking us because that's what spawns here. They don't take much damage since they only get the force part, but you know, we're doing twice as much force damage as we were before because we got that second Eldritch Blast dice. Note how much faster the Reaper dies than the generic ooze, because the Reaper actually takes frost damage and the ooze does not. It's quite the split, actually.
this room stinks a little less than the rest of this foul place. The second
All right, one down. Oh, another Reaper. We're getting a decent number of these. Oh, I saved against hypnotism. That's good. But that does remind me of one more thing I need to do. I need to actually bring out my Harper Pin and my Gibber's Blade so I can click on them. In this sense, the Harper pin is much more relevant to be clickable, because if I'm using my gibbers, I have plenty of time to go and find it in my inventory and click on it. It's usually not time sensitive when you're trying to gibbers. It usually means that you're having a bit of downtime, in fact. All the way downtime, about 6 feet downtime. And, you know, you can take your time choosing when you want to get back up. Yep, Reaper, Butcher's Path. In we go. We'll share it, because I don't know if he saw
Butcher's Path.
where we headed. So we'll share it so he knows where we are. We haven't had to do a lot of communicating with our party mate here, just because we're both just kind of going through, beating the quests. 'Cause that's, you know, that's what you do. You both head to the quest, you both know the quest, you kill the guys in the quest. And I'm not too concerned if I accidentally leave one alive. Now, in this quest, sometimes that can be a problem, because then you get to the end and you're like 2 kills short, and it's just like, ah! But this is one benefit of being in a party. If I happen to miss one and he's like bringing up the rear, he can just, you know, finish them off. It's like, oh, I only hit him with 1 thing and I needed 2 in order to kill them. Okay. He'll hit him once too. We'll each hit him once. Or I'll just miss everything somehow.
Countless kobolds.
That won't be a problem as much once we switch over to cone shape. But the problem is with switching to cone shape right now is that I would lose like over half of my PAX dice. So we don't want to do that. We're going to wait for like maybe 1 more level-ish so that we can lose a lower percentage of our packed dice when we switch over to cone shape. Like, we're still going to lose some because we're going to be moving from, what is it, Tainted Scholar and whatever the other one is. We're going to be moving from Tainted Scholar into the other one. All right, what do we need? 19 more? Okay, we should kill this pack. But we're not going to trigger the ambush. I think we should have 13 guys left to kill before the end. Hopefully. Alright. 8, 6. Are there 6 in here? Yeah, there are 6 in here. Excellent. Calculated. Exactly as planned. And even if there weren't quite enough in there, there's 1 more at the top of the ladder, so we would have been fine either way. Optional, slay this person. They're not a rare spawn. They're just always here.
You have walked the Butcher's Path and lived.
There we go.
No easy feat, even for the bravest of warriors.
I don't feel like doing that one. We'll go to Haberdasher instead. The Tome one is just annoying. You gotta run around a bunch, even if it does give decent XP. This doesn't even give Reaper XP unless you get lucky. Because for Reaper XP, you need to kill 10 people. And there aren't enough baseline Scorpions to hit that requirement. Like, there are 8. However, there is a rare spawn that gives up to 9. So you need the rare spawn to come up, and you need a Reaper. Or I suppose 2 Reapers work too. Well, there's Blacktail.
For the final spasm, the last.
But no Reapers, so no Reaper XP. Defeat 1 more enemy to activate. You know, not that 200 Reaper XP is gonna be a make or break on your Reaper point grind, but you know, it's good, just good to know before you decide. It's like, I want to push skulls on this. Like, well, there's a good chance you get 0 XP from it, so beware. Info. And let's see. The market 2s are no longer 2s. So even if we do them next, they're not the same level that they used to be.
Across the room, you see an iron defender. The beast looks fierce. Approaching the
I
creature's
did recently learn
you hear another
that
sound
if you
from behind
have
the ears.
sprint boost and a leap from, say, the Eladrin past life, I believe they said it was the iconic past life specifically, because it gives you charges of a leap. You can actually skip these gates dropping down and skip the fights, which is cool to know. I, of course, don't have that past life, so I can't put that knowledge to use right now. But it's interesting to know when I eventually get that ability. So it's kind of cool, actually, how some of this stuff works and what sorts of sequence breaking you can do.
Men making his way down the tunnel ahead.
Or I suppose this is just straight up skips, not sequence breaking, but same sort of thing. Oh, I'm standing in Greece. Go. But having a partner in this quest does make it a decent bit faster because we can split at the end part.
You notice that the smuggler
So
is
one person can go up and the other can do the thing,
artifact.
can swim over and open the gate. Because you need to go up and then you need to swim and then you need to go up again. But, you know, if one person swims, then we're fine. So if I need to go up in order to open the gate that the swimmer needs to go through, and the swimmer pulls the thing so that it opens the gate up here so that we can go forward to the last section.
You hear the grind and clatter of machinery from below and to the west. It sounds like something heavy is being wrapped in iron.
And yep,
The secret path
it moves the
ends
bookcase out of the way here.
White Talon attempts to growl in defiance, but the crumple. You lift the case
Boom,
and
there we
slide
go.
it to your back.
Easy 5K.
Quickly return to the Fairlane representative.
Let's see. Am I missing 2s? Miseries, Broadry's Tome, Stolen Goods, Smuggler's Warehouse, has no shipment. Nothing that I care about. Let's see, where are we headed next? We need to do some level 3s. So let's say Cerulean Hills. Cerulean Hills, we can do that. Pretty easy circuit to make. And of course, there's a certain golem, or brute I should say, that's responsible for a lot of deaths on hardcore that I might want to hit with a bunch of cold damage. Just a bit. So now, granted, he hasn't killed me personally on hardcore. I've died to other things on hardcore. Misadventure, rather, is, Misadventure has gotten me. She's a bitch. But, you know, everyone's got to die sometimes. And on hardcore, sometimes those times happen faster than others. Actually, one of the quests in this chain has killed me on hardcore, but it wasn't the Magma Brute. Oh. Well, thanks for stopping by, hanging out, chatting, and all that. For the reminders about Reaper points, which I have forgotten many a time to actually allocate my Reaper points after a reincarnation. And have a good evening then, and sleep well.
A dusty caravan blocks the road to the west.
There we go. Buffs for me, because I loaded in first. Buffs for him, because he loaded in second. There we go.
Things look peaceful on the road to Nash's farm, but the hills echo with distant shouts and the barking of dogs.
Alright, they're now out of range, so we're not going to bother them anymore. We're going to shoot these guys.
The orc raiders have thrown up a
Now, another benefit of Corsari's Storm is that, unlike some other pacts, it's not against a reflex save, it's against a will save. And that means evasion mobs don't get to evade it. So that's going to be really nice once we come to places like Sharn. It's just like all those guys who take like no damage from certain things because they have evasion and high reflex saves. Not a problem anymore. It's not a reflex save, you don't get to evade it. Which is just very convenient. Hello, Orc Rangers. There we go. Still only on green alert, which is nice. The Soul of Ice, of course, is resistant to ice, which is not ideal. But we're still getting through it. That is a Famine Reaper that we need to be targeting. Hello. Shaken. Oh, negative damage for 100. That's a big hit. I gotta say, I was not expecting the 100 negative damage burst, but, you know, Famine Reaper's got a Famine Reap. And we did survive, so I guess we can't complain too much.
Angry orc cries bellow from behind the house as the flames go out.
Alright, we're gonna hit some cooldowns, and oh, that is a lot of champions. That is a much bigger bounce range than I remembered. Like when they're spread out like that, it's like, wow, that chain is actually chaining a long distance.
A dusty caravan blocks the road to the west.
All right. Time for the somewhat newer quests with the Gatekeeper's Chain. Like, where there's smoke is a little bit of an older one and not scaled as hard, but the interesting with this one will be it's going to be one of the first chests that I've looted since I started doing the other things, because like all the harbor quests are old enough that anything I looted there would just be cluttering my inventory, and I don't want to loot it. Whereas here, there are named things, which might have like Mythic or Reaper on them. And we'll see if my unusual luck with named drops from the hills, or not from hills, from the Borderlands continues.
A groan from the nearby cot shows that this Orc Elder is
Oh, Light Bearer.
though not in any condition to receive guests.
Alright, up we go. Scorpions and stuff that are low to the ground are a little annoying for anything that's got a targeting spell. And actually ravens can be annoying as well because they're pretty small hitboxes and they move around. Fortunately, this is one of my favorite benefits of being a warlock is as long as you kind of know the map, you can just kind of run through everything backwards and kill everything while still moving. It's highly convenient. Of course, sometimes you get a Reaper on you, and it's not as good, but now, actually in this quest, if you weren't aware, so the quest says, you know, you need to go to this side to get this and that side to get that, but all they actually do is cast, like, Bull's Strength and Bear's Fortitude, or whatever they are. The 4 Strength and the 4 Stam buffs. And if you just cast those buffs on yourself, you don't have to go to these sides at all. You can just walk straight to the door, and it's just like, hey, you've got the buffs, go on in. They don't care where you got them. There's endurance, there it is, not vitality.
Fortunately for you, these particular bears are stuffed.
So up we go. Let's see. Oh look, more scorpions that are annoying to deal with.
Screen blocks your path, decorated with masks and totems.
But yes, this is the gate that I was referring to. This just checks if you have the buffs on you. Doesn't matter if you cast them, doesn't matter if the quest cast them on you. Either way works. Also, if you have Jump and Featherfall, you can go on the left side there. He's already gone down, so we're not going to attempt it. I think I could have made it, but it's no big deal. We can just go. We're fine. Okay, maybe we don't want quite this many up. I don't feel like having Dungeon Alert on the boss. Like, green Dungeon Alert on a boss isn't that bad, but if you get up to orange, red, or purple, then bosses just kind of stop taking damage. Because that's the anti-zerging measures they put in. If you're in, like, red or purple Dungeon Alert, the bosses get a ridiculous amount of defenses. It's how I wiped in one of these Cerulean Hills quests last life.
The final resting place of the Orc Elders has a watchful and hungry guardian.
There we go. Alright, and we finish.
You've found that the initiate
And do we
disintegrated
continue getting named loot?
skull
We
of an Orc
do!
Elder.
It continues to not have anything on it.
Sent the initiate to plunder this sacred site.
So,
And why?
every chest I have looted since I reincarnated that had named loot in it, or that had the potential for named loot, actually had it. I wonder if there's something going on with their intended anniversary event drop rate thing. Although, when Aviator was saying earlier in chat, they, or no, was it him or someone else? I think someone else actually copied this particular patch note, but there is you can talk to the genie, and he'll give you a 6-hour treasure hunter buff.
You've arrived at the main shaft of the abandoned mine. Security
But
constructs
the thing about that is, like,
still active long after the miners left.
you still have to go and grab the buff.
Entry
So, and I haven't grabbed the buff, and I don't think the buff is even live until tomorrow. So,
and hostile
why then am I getting named in every quest?
dropping you into
I
the
do
fight
not
below.
know.
You don't see any way to get back,
Enjoy the
so
extra damage because you are made of fire.
option.
Oh look, you're both made of fire and flameborn. I don't think that makes you take double extra damage, but you're taking enough extra damage. Let's see here. I think we'll be able to get by the crystal with use magic device. So we've got that going for
The
us.
nearby Canith crystal hums with magical energy.
UMD.
It's connected to a barrier that blocks
Excellent.
the path forward. The barrier fades, and a wave of searing heat buffets your face. An
Hello.
ancient magma brute lumbers about in the large
Goodbye.
chamber ahead. The rumble of the brute ends, leaving only the sound of its magma flowing.
So actually one of the more dangerous parts of this quest,
Pick up a
besides the brute himself,
chunk of the
are those... Oh!
the heart
Our streak is broken. No named loot.
the something
Because the Mephits, sometimes when they breathe on you, do an unusual amount of damage. And if like 3 of them do it at once, that is just enough to straight up kill a first life character. Like they can hit randomly for like 30. And it's just like, well,
The old
guess I'll die then.
has long since collapsed. Someone must have dug one too
Off
many
we go.
times.
These are going very smoothly thus far, both because someone joined party, so that makes everything go smoother, and just Warlock is very powerful at these levels.
Before she disappeared, Lily Hargrove
Get the
returned
letter,
home in
talk
search
to
of
the
something
mother,
bright and loud. All you
and
see
put up
ahead
buffs.
of her is an old woman sitting alone by the fire.
We can buff our
She
compatriot
doesn't
now that
seem
he's
to
here.
notice you.
Not that the Featherfall buff is that important,
Thoughts clouded
but
by some terrible experience.
gives him temp health.
A shadow passes over her face.
Oh,
The garden! The garden!
She gasps.
take the scythe. Thank you.
You find a
I neglected to go back into single target mode after the last quest.
You take it with
Oh, the door's this way.
Perhaps you'll need it.
This is the disadvantage to trying to back up through quests. If you don't know exactly where you're going, you run into walls. But it's not really a big deal. It's not like we needed to get by, otherwise we were going to die. It just delayed us slightly, which is really no convenience at all, or no inconvenience at all. In fact, no convenience at all would be the opposite of no inconvenience, because that's how English works.
You see signs that some monsters have taken up residence.
Well,
in this
okay,
dusty
it's how
city.
English works sometimes. Sometimes you get things like flammable and inflammable, which are not opposites. But, you know, it's English. You just learn it as you go. It's really,
Merge into the
it's not about feels,
yourself on the back
even though it is more of a Germanic language than a Romance language.
bamboo that sprung up
It's
around
not really big on rules. It's just, how do you feel the grammar should work?
the remains of the family's crop.
Just one more way that we can stick it to the Germans
Is a cold voice
by
saying to
acknowledging feelings
come here,
and not following
little
rules.
bit farther.
Yep,
You
yep.
hear the ghostly
Sorry, I was
voice
slightly too far away. I guess I will follow the rule of you must be this close.
I'm waiting under our favorite tree.
Oh, more scarecrows.
Lily's
Hello.
family turns in surprise
Get
to see their
zapped.
strange daughter. They notice that something about her seems wrong. Unhinged, even.
Let's get ourselves more temp health. Yep. Yep, it is all yours now.
When the vision fades, an incorporeal figure appears before you.
There we go. You're not immune to cold. That's convenient, because they are immune to fire. Well, no. Maybe they are.
Songs, come and get them.
Blinded
Hags
and
are,
enraged, the
but I don't know if that one counts as a hag or if it's just like a ghost.
shrieks, her voice echoing through the clearing and sending a sharp pain to your skull. But soon she dissolves into a thin mist.
So this is why I like these quests, even though they are slightly harder than other stuff on level, especially since we have someone with us.
Perhaps
3 minutes
something else
and 7k-ish?
song back to the
6.5. This isn't the actual end number because it doesn't take into account various bonuses like from gear and stuff. So it doesn't take into account Tomes of Learning, it doesn't take into account the guild bonus, it doesn't take into account the Master's Gift that we're wearing, and so on and so forth. So that's where the discrepancy is between what gets shown in the quest description and what we actually get and shows up in the dialogue box and the number that pops up over our heads. So if you're ever wondering, it's like, why does this say this thing and this say a different thing? Well, that's one of the reasons, because one of them has all the modifiers and the other one only has most of the modifiers.
You've entered the ruined temple by its long-abandoned rear entrance. Foxpaw came here to find some sort of sacred
All
bounty.
right.
It's time for you to figure out just what that was.
So much easier when you can just AoE as you run.
By the telltale
Such a luxury compared to last life when I had to single target kill things. And, you know, had to be in melee, so you can't really melee while you run because lag and hitboxes are going to get you if you try to do that. Alright, and now we just need to follow the light. If you've gotten this far in the quest and you don't know where you're going, just follow the light. There we go. We just back up our way through the quest. There's going to be more lions here. Oh look, lions.
echoing down the hallway.
Now, if you do happen to die here, and you need to corpse run down to the shrine at the bottom of the shaft, you will have to come back up. Because there's a quest trigger you trigger, like as you walk through that part right there, and you can't complete the quest without doing it. So, if you had to death run down here, you will have to go back up the stairs to hit that quest trigger. Now, last life, I tried to just skip a bunch of those guys and come down here. And I learned the hard way just how much damage reduction this guy can get as a red named
From the eyes of
if you have red alert.
as it focuses
It's a lot, like 90%. And I died. So,
the guard
we have learned better,
into a heap, and sparks of electricity.
and now we don't do that anymore. I say that like there was like
The air grows warm.
some problem, like, oh yeah, back in the day I did this, and ever since then, when ever since then was
A
last
single
life.
massive apple rests on the ground beside you. It seems to glow with a faint inner
Okay,
light.
so far,
You found the
we have
sacred
missed
bounty
one
Foxpaw was
named
looking for.
chest.
Now to return to the gatekeepers and tell them what happened.
Alright, one more quest in Cerulean Hills. And then... whether or not we want to do housekeeping. This may be impacted by the ad timer, because it's only giving me one more snooze. Oh wait, no, change difficulty, there we go. Which means that we would have like 12 minutes to finish both quests. Which might be enough, but might not be. I'll make that call here in a minute. Alright, we got the death from above thing going, just paratrooping in here. Alright. So, what I was saying earlier about, like, I have died to things in hardcore. In this chain, that's what I died to. I died to one of the orange rare name guys in here. I was on an artificer, like a, I think I was a repeater build. Well, as much as you have any sort of build at these levels. And because I was an artificer, I had spent points in Renegade Mastermaker. Like, I was over 100 health at this level. Which, you know, as a first life character is a bit more impressive than this with, like, all my Reaper points and stuff. But I ate a fireball for over 100 damage from one of the guys in here. It's just like, well, guess I'll die. So, it was, that was an unexpected sudden death. I was not expecting the giant burst damage from a fireball in what is a relatively old and therefore seemingly safer quest. But turns out, no. The orange named, like, rare spawn guys in here can indeed pack a punch. Sometimes.
Judging from the clothes, it must be Lady Asdal. You freed Lady Asdal and her bodyguards from the orcs.
There we go. We have not switched to single target because he's got ads with him, of course. He is relatively healthy though, 1600 health.
With Ragnar dead,
Boom.
trying
Got him.
to ransom captives taken from
Finish,
the
yes.
hills has been ended.
Housekeeping is a little longer, but I think we can pull it off.
The road continues east into territory
Do-do-do,
controlled by
do-do-do.
hostile Gruul tribe orcs.
I'm gonna preemptively snooze this ad. Which gives us a relatively short time to finish this quest and find a raid target. As 2 people have generously raided me tonight, it would be remiss of me to just leave all of you here without anywhere to go after I finished up. So we will be attempting to locate a raid target shortly after this quest. In fact, I should probably look at it now, well, like during a loading screen. Like, who is online? playing DDO. Alright, we got to listen
As
to
you
them
step
talk a bit.
inside the hut, you suddenly feel disoriented. Which way is down again?
Alright.
One of the hags notices your presence.
Would you look at that? More adventurers. I don't remember ordering food.
Another hag responds.
Stop thinking with your gut, Beatrice. They brought us another set of ritual reagents. Just what we needed. What luck! Please, Agnes.
Says another.
Luck had nothing to do
Let's
with it.
see. I haven't raided any
Plans
of these
within
people
plans,
before.
sisters. One set for us, another for our patron.
No, not at all.
Cadence,
Okay.
Says Beatrice.
tell
We're gonna
me we
take a
get
look
to
at
eat
them.
this time.
So hopefully I can
Wasted
send you off to
away
someone
the
good.
Stupid ritual circle. You'll be fine, Beatrice. You're just ethereal.
Responds Cadence.
Besides, we haven't ripped their souls out yet.
Alright, I suppose we should buff now.
Into the soul bag with you.
This is one reason why I was like, can I finish this in time? Was because they talk for so long.
Oh, look. More flies stuck in the jam. Welcome to hell, idiots.
Hi.
Grumbles Thel. We screwed up. Bad. Adds Capstone.
Oh wait, no, I don't want Capstone. I want
There
this
has
guy.
to be something we can do, mutters Foxpaw.
Okay.
Like some tea.
Well said. Have you dueled
Asks
before?
nonchalantly.
Alright. Okay, off we go.
I keep having this dream.
Says Thel.
This is probably bad for me as someone who uses, like, cold damage.
Start to crawl out of the ground. What would you do in my place?
Oh, it's worse than I thought. Alright, I'm gonna go over here, because the spite things are healed by cold.
Thel continues.
So I start fighting.
So we need to not hit the spite.
Coming.
Short
It's
fuse
ancestors
are hurt.
after their revenge. Look, I know now.
Plague Reaper is definitely hurt.
Bad idea, but I was just trying to locate a threat. How was I supposed to know that the threat was me?
Alright, good. Anger Validation takes damage. That's good to know.
I know. It's hard to think straight when you're fighting.
Says Thel.
But it feels so good to get
Alright,
mad.
Sheer Spite are the ones that get healed, so we want to avoid them. You do want to hit the Plague Reaper. Alright, we managed to get some, Alright. Okay, we're going to come over here and we're going to turn off our Pact so that we can actually deal damage to the Sheer Spites. It's going to suck for us in a minute because after this, we're going to drop down, and turning Pact on takes a little bit. But it's okay, we just won't turn our Feather Falling off. Here we go, Infernal Pact. This is fine.
I'm done being a pawn, says Thel. And thanks for listening.
Oh, Remnant Chest. Very nice.
How can we defeat these hags? Let's think this one
Leave the
through.
memory.
And what's the deal with you? Your soul isn't all transparent like mine.
Thel says. He leans closer.
Hey, what did you do?
The hags continue to argue somewhere up above.
Beatrice, eat when we're done. Focus on the rituals. Focus on the spell. It's just an ear.
Says Beatrice.
It's life in the rear mirror. All right, new plan. Beatrice, eat them.
Cadence says.
Eat them all.
Alright. So, they are immune to cold.
I need healing.
Darn it.
Shouts Agnes.
Coming right up, sister.
Responds Cadence.
I am unarmed. wasn't
You
all
kept telling me to play
to
death.
be slain by the likes of you.
You like play
Cadence
Death Knight,
bemoans her
play,
own demise as she
Shellmaster.
flops to the ground and turns
Alright,
to
not
dust.
terrible. It does take a full 5 minutes, but it is like 6,000 XP.
You got me.
So that's good.
Then she poops into a cloud of dust.
He did a little bit. I was like,
Will
I
you
don't know.
hurry up? We're on a
I was jumping
schedule.
between Dark Hunter,
Cadence reappears on a tree stump,
Cleric,
then disappears just as suddenly.
Ranger.
Hi, I'm dead!
Beatrice announces with a distinct lack of enthusiasm as she falls over.
Alright, so that should do it for us for this evening.
They play very much like a regular.
Yeah, I mean, the only action change they have is they don't get arcane arc.
Thank you all for coming here. I don't see anyone I have rated before on, so I'm gonna pick one at semi-random. I opened up a couple while we were in quest just to find one who is at least like active and talking. So they appear to be discussing the differences between Ranger and Dark Hunter. So thanks all for stopping by and hanging out tonight. I'm gonna toss all y'all over here to Lycadin, who is on a dwarf, but not digging a hole. So I appreciate all y'all stopping by, everyone who came in with raids, everyone who didn't come in with raids, lurkers, chatters, all of the above. If you've enjoyed stream, of course, call to actions work, even though they're annoying, you know, follow, subscribe, all that nonsense if you want to see more. But that will be all for me tonight. We will be back on Thursday, as is our normal streaming schedule, Tuesday, Thursday. And, yeah, I hope to see you then.
Yeah, but
So,
if I remember, it was the one with
we're gonna head over here to raid... Oh, it's not Lycadin, it's Lycandin. So I'm gonna toss all y'all over there. Thank you for hanging out tonight, and good night.